I'm Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Hey, everybody, I'm Matt Ockamp.
And I'm Pat Reber.
And say it with us, Jason. Welcome to Mutant Menace. Patrick.
Matt.
How the H-E double bendy straws are you?
Double bendy straws?
Yeah, I didn't want to say hockey sticks. I don't like
Yeah, you hate sports. I'm good.
I hate sports and I love sucking.
Welcome to Mutant Menace. Oh, I'm good, Matt. I'm very excited to get into our content today.
Me too. We're talking, guys, folks, friends, Romans. We're talking about
Country.
I didn't want to. You keep trying to get me to say things I don't want to say.
Countryman. Say countryman.
All right, we're talking about Dazzler today. The Disco Dazzler. Pat, what the hell?
Wow, Matt. This one is gonna dazzle you. I should have said that before you announced the title. But
yeah. Actually, everybody listen to Pat say that, then rewind. And listen to me
go
say
back.
About
and then when you get to this, note the
timestamp.
When
because you want to skip it, you don't want him to say it twice, so you want to skip forward
and skip this. Let's make this exactly 30 seconds so they can hit the forward 30 seconds. We'll take care of that in post.
All right, so there's this type of music that they had once upon a time. It was called a disco. It was a sort of dancey type of music that kind of combined the elements of funk and pop and a little bit of soul. With the emerging electronica technology.
Yes, the use of synthesizers. Mm-hmm. So before disco, let's take one step back from disco.
Sure. Okay, so we started, I guess the history of music, Western music anyway, is Gregorian chant, which was a sort of monotone. Everybody would sing the same exact note. You could change notes, but not at the same. They wouldn't make chords. So eventually, they kind of invented the idea of polyphony, which is multiple people singing different notes or different things at different times. This sort of they didn't really come up with chords until after they came up with the ideas of like a round. So somebody would be singing in monotone and then somebody else would be singing something different in monotone, and I can't remember what that was called. Maybe just that's what polyphony is. Anyway, so after that, I thought you would fucking interrupt me at some point.
I wanted to see how far you would go. At least get to Pythagoras.
At that point, music was pretty much all religious. So then you basically get into the invention of the mass,
and then disco. So right before that point, though, the disco point in time, Kiss had debuted in Marvel Comics. Right, this was a big deal. Well, it's its own complicated story that we've told parts of. If you want to dig into it, read a book. But the success of it made them say, hey, why don't we do the inverse? Why don't we take a comic book character and make them a successful musician?
Right.
And so the idea of the Disco Queen was born in partnership with Casablanca Records, who were Kiss's record label at the time. So initially they said, let's get Donna Summer to play the Disco Queen. We'll write a comic book based on her, and she will tour the country as I think at this point it became Dazzler, the Disco Queen.
It became she was the Disco Dazzler at this point.
The Disco Dazzler, that's what it is.
She said no, right?
She said no. She actually she parted ways with Casablanca and sued them. So she was out. But in the meantime, they were full steam ahead about this character. Gave it to John Romita Jr. because he was just the kid around the office at that time. He loved going out to the discotheque. So he was their only thread to disco culture, I'm pretty sure.
This is when, yeah, he was like, I want it to be, his original image of Dazzler was Grace Jones.
Grace Jones, yeah.
And I want people to recognize at this point, because the race element is something people don't think about a lot with disco, but was like a huge thing, right? Like, so note that the two people they considered to be the Disco Dazzler up to this point were black. If you think about the controversy about disco and who it was who hated disco, and if you think about like the famous disco demolition night, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Who were the famous early pioneers of disco? Who were the people who hated disco? And then who were the stars that made disco palatable for the public? There's a big race disparity there. And we're not going to talk about it too much, but I do want to note it because of the Donna Summer, Grace Jones, and then what Dazzler turned into, I think is part of the de-blackification of disco, because one of the things that was turning people against disco was racism.
Yeah, you don't have to say one of the, I mean, it was largely a pushback against black culture taking over. The same thing happened to rap music. The same thing happened to rock music before that. Like it's just it's a pattern.
Right, which is
American music.
Why record companies would love to put white people in these. So that's why John Travolta was the Saturday Night Fever guy. And that's why.
Yes. And the Bee Gees did the entire soundtrack.
The next person to step up to the plate to play Dazzler when it was still going to be this multimedia enterprise was Bo Derek.
Bo Derek was like, ooh, I want to play Dazzler. And by this time, everybody at Marvel, every important person at Marvel, every important person at Casablanca had given notes. And at this point, she was already a blonde white woman. So somewhere in the process, somebody high up at one or both of these companies was like, let's just make her white. Everything's going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
But that meant they could make a movie because Bo Derek wanted to play Dazzler. Disco does start to die, again, mostly because of racial pushback, but Casablanca pulled out. They were no longer interested in making disco records. The comic character still exists, and by this time they had done so much marketing that they just started popping her into other people's comics. They were like, hey, we have none of the external projects that we planned, but we've told everybody she's coming. We need to put her in something. So suddenly she's in the X-Men.
Popped up in the X-Men.
Spider-Man.
She was in one issue of Spider-Man.
And then a year later, maybe 2 years later, somewhere between 1 and 2 years later, they finally come out with Dazzler #1.
It's very interesting because, like you're saying, she had appeared in, looks like 4 comics. I guess she was also in an issue of Fantastic Four. She had appeared in 4 comics up to that point as an actual character, but the advertising campaign was so strong, everybody knew who Dazzler was.
And it had been going for years at that point. This was like late mid-70s that they had come up with the idea. Just real quick, as usual, most but not all of what we're saying here is paraphrased from our favorite book, Marvel Comics: The Untold Story by Sean Howe.
Yeah, and I mean, also the intro to, I have the big Dazzler omnibus. There's Marvel released a giant Dazzler omnibus, like I think 2 years ago, that has those first 2 X-Men appearances and Spider-Man, and then all of Dazzler in one big fucking tome, and then the Dazzler graphic novel and
Beauty and the Beast trade paperback
miniseries, plus some what ifs, like what if Dazzler became Galactus or some shit like that.
Okay, sure,
something weird. But
so yeah, I would highly recommend both books, Marvel Comics: The Untold Story and the Dazzler omnibus. Those are
I
stash
don't know
books.
that I recommend the Dazzler Omnibus. There's some real bad Dazzler comics, and we will go through kind of at least my opinions about the entire series of Dazzler a little later. But I mean, that first issue ended up selling really, really well.
Yeah, the marketing campaign worked.
Sold over 400,000 copies, which is about 150,000 more than the other top-selling books of the day.
Yeah.
They gave it to Tom DeFalco to write.
A little Archie comic writing nerd named Tom DeFalco.
Also, I think it's funny. Again, we talked about this with Firestar, but they gave Dazzler to Chris Claremont to introduce just every time they had one of these sales gimmick characters.
Yeah.
It's just like, Chris, you do it.
Can you like, make the character?
And here's something I'm actually not sure of, and I don't know if you know, but
I'll pretend I do.
Did sales continue to do well on the Dazzler book? It ran about 40 issues. Yes? Okay. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
That's Pat Reaver certified.
It did great.
In my opinion, it did pretty well.
I mean, it must have done okay to continue. But before we start diving in to our Dazzler books.
Oh, yeah.
I actually want to talk about something really important to me, and it is the state of American politics. See, I think that recently we've divided in such a way. Damn it.
Matt, that sounds really important. Can you hold that thought? We have to get to Pat's email corner.
We've got to find this
waiting.
Alt-right piano player. Every time I try to talk about politics.
If you recognize the song, you know that it is time for Pat's email corner.
Whoa! It's been so long. I missed our email.
It has been a little while for us, Matt. We got 4 emails today. You ready? We're going to go through 4.
Okay.
First one being from Inkmaster. Inkmaster says...
Inkmaster, hey.
Hey, Pat, Matt is actually completely correct about Old English being almost completely unintelligible to modern English speakers. I don't think so. You might be able to catch the occasional word if you know what you're listening to is supposed to be English, but if you heard an example of Old English without someone telling you that's what it is beforehand, you probably wouldn't know what you're hearing is English.
Yeah.
To use Matt's example, here's the opening of Beowulf in the original Old English.
You can't even pronounce that first. No, yeah, that's not how that sounds.
Oh, let me read it.
Yeah, I know you can't pronounce the first word. Okay, go ahead.
Whet. We Gardena in Girdagum Piod Sininga Brim Gefrunan Hu Apolingus Ellen Fremedon.
Apolingus Ellen Fremedon. Do not perform Apolingus. Please do never perform Apolingus.
I said I can read it, not speak it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's easy to understand.
Okay, tell me what it says.
He goes on, he says, also, the belt that Colossus was wearing around his neck is actually called a choker. While they're not part of the BDSM scene, they're also not exclusive to BDSM, and there are plenty of people who just wear them for fashion, especially in the goth and punk scenes.
Okay. Yeah, we were just making fun.
Wearing a choker isn't exclusive to the BDSM community. Although we are about to launch into a bondage era.
That's true.
I also love this. Ink signs off saying, trying out different sign-offs, Ink.
Aw, cute.
Up next, the old email Michael. We're pulling
an also, hold on, before we get off the Old English thing, I think it's so cute that you pronounced the thorn as a P. Because it kind of looks like a P.
I was going back and forth between P and B because it's the line, the loop is right in the middle of the line. Thank you. I'm pretty cute.
It's like it's like a TH. Okay, go ahead.
Email Michael also wants to sound off on episode 59. He says, "Hey, Pat, tell Matt that you're not better than a Jim Pooper joke because nobody is, because that joke is fantastic."
It's fantastic. You find it fantastic. You find it to be a fantastic joke. You're like, ooh, the construction here is so elegant.
Having said that, Matt calling him Dim instead of Jim was also extremely good.
Thank you. I don't know.
We're not going to deconstruct that one.
No, I don't know if you noticed that. I think as soon as I said you were better than that, I decided that all my dim duper things would also be as dumb as they could possibly be for that episode.
Oh, is that it? When the dumb things are reflected back to you, you were being dumb on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that one's actually true. But that's actually true that time. But this time, that's actually true. It's not always. That time it's true.
Email Michael goes on, says, "You brought up the question of whether Peter Parker knows Conan the Barbarian from the Marvel Comics is a plot hole or not, because Conan actually existed in his world. It's true that Conan did exist on Earth 616, same as Peter Parker. However, Conan the Barbarian's origin was as the main character of novels by Robert E. Howard in the 1950s. Peter Parker would absolutely be the kind of nerd who would read novels about a real historical person, right. Conan the Cimmerian, like how people now read about historical warlords. So there's no continuity problems there as far as I'm concerned."
Okay, so Email Michael is saying, yes, in this world, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Cimmerian, was real, but Robert E. Howard wrote a bunch of like fictionalized versions of Conan, who was an actual historical figure in that world. It'd be like King Arthur or something, which we don't know that King Arthur was real, but we think he probably was.
Analogy. Up next, we have Vio. Wait, we came up with nickname Vio da Gama, I believe. Daughter of Vasco da Gama.
Vio da Gama.
Vio da Gama says, "I prefer..." Vio opens up with, or I should say the subject line with Pat's email corner response to request for comment on Crisis Protocol team.
Oh, very good.
Then she starts, "I prefer specific subject lines." "Dear Matt, tell Pat I was..." People are doing this a lot.
Why do people do this to me?
Corner. All right. "I was listening on the Cool on Goth episode. I am on every episode because I find you boys delightful.
Aww,
where you asked me to comment on Weapon Jason's Crisis Protocol team with the Crimson Dynamo and the Winter Soldier. I think it seems like a pretty neat team. Side comment, I dig Crimson Dynamo, especially because Paul McCartney wrote that one song about him and Magneto. As a thank you, Jack Kirby drew a full page of Paul and his wife being attacked by Magneto. It's pretty sick."
Wait, what?
I need to look that up.
All right, yeah, pause.
Vio, I did not know about this. I have to say, fucking Paul and Linda McCartney put out the hands down best post-Beatles album in Ram.
Ram is a fucking great album, but come on, man. George Harrison's...
I think it's better. I think George Harrison wrote a few better songs, individual
songs.
All right.
I
think Ram as an album is
on All Things Must Pass
successor to the Beatles.
I think, actually, you know what? I fully agree. I don't think All Things Must Pass is a better album than Ram, but there are songs on All Things Must Pass that are better than anything on Ram.
Strong Beatles opinions, mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. Let us know.
I'm still, just so you guys know, just so the listener knows, I'm still listening to Magneto and the Titanium Man by Paul McCartney right now.
I'm marveling at the picture. This is extremely Jack Kirby. Magneto has crazy eyes. He's got the crazy eyes back.
Yeah. I miss Magneto's crazy eyes.
Ugh. Beautiful.
Okay, so what else does Vio da Gama say?
My current Crisis Protocol team I have settled on is Apocalypse and his Horsemen. I really dig him and they are fun to play. I've attached photos of the ones I painted up. I made a fancy gold Apocalypse.
Oh, cool. I like the gold Apocalypse. And then there's Ghost Rider and Iceman. This Iceman,
Pretty sick.
fucking so rad.
I also
God,
love the shading. I'm so bad at painting things.
yeah.
This is quality work.
I'm so impressed. Me and you,
We got to play this damn
we
game.
gotta play this damn game.
We do get some insight into the rules here. The game is just playing different capture the flag-esque scenarios with a team of your choice that fits a team size parameter associated with a picked scenario. Each character comes with a little stat sheet, and you play them like you would in a tactical RPG video game. And there's a ton of characters available.
Wow.
Also, I hope you boys are well, and I'm sorry your mailbox got hijacked by Crisis Protocol comments. I'm not fascinated.
Again, fill this mailbox. I want to get an alert from Gmail that's like, you are completely out of space because of the Crisis Protocol images in your inbox.
Protocol photos and stat cards.
And I don't want to like go look them up. I want to know people's personal Crisis Protocol teams.
Okay, one more email, Matt, and it is from someone we've already heard from. This is Email Michael.
Oh, hey, Email Michael.
With now episode 60 response.
Okay.
Hey, Pat, tell Matt I really appreciate how strictly Email Michael follows the formatting rules, by the way. Very refreshing. Thank you. He
follows every rule. Everything we say, he follows to the letter.
Hey, Pat, tell Matt that while I appreciate his repeated assertion that Spider-Man is supposed to fight crime and not take photos, I can't help but think it's kind of missing one of the key points of the character, which is that he's not just Spider-Man, he's also Peter Parker, who is, in fact, supposed to take photos and do his job and make money. Like, that's a pretty important part of a lot of Spider-Man's stories, that he's dealing with his two different lives and their two different sets of priorities and his difficulty balancing things so that he can do well at both. Can I take this one?
Yes, please.
I agree with you, Email Michael, that he lives both lives, but he prioritizes the safety of others over his personal success. That's his whole thing, is that he would be like, I want to take these pictures. I could probably make a lot of money on them, but people would get hurt if I just sat back and took photos.
That's the thing, is we've only been criticizing him in scenes where all he wants to do is take photos. He doesn't want to fight crime. He just wants to take photos.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
That's not who we know.
And then we get a bit of smarm, and frankly, it's refreshing because Email Michael was trying to be nice for a little while there.
Yeah.
He says, but I'm sure Matt could do a much better job of being both Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and therefore he's in a great position to judge the deliberately flawed fictional character created for the entertainment of comic book readers.
You bastard.
Supposed to write emails, Email Michael.
I think I could do a better job at Spider-Man than Spider-Man.
This is the new could you win a fight with a bear?
Or could you
balance Peter Parker's life?
We all
At 40 years old, I got it figured out.
I think I could do it. I think I could live a better Spider-Man life than Spider-Man. Well, because one of the things I'd stop doing is fucking oppressing drug dealers and poor people.
I guess.
I know you hate this argument about Batman and Spider-Man, that they're actually tools of like the fascist.
They're actually just cops.
But I feel it so hard these days.
Let's close out Pat's email corner on that bitter note.
See, he surprises me with it, but he listens to you when you ask for it.
Yeah, it's because you're always trying to stand on a soapbox, Matt.
Damn it. Well,
you know me, completely apolitical.
I would get back on my soapbox, but first, Pat, what I have to do right now, actually, is I gotta ask you.
These are the rules.
Did you do anything X-Men related this week?
I'll tell you what, Matt. I went to my local free library. Am I saying that right? the little boxes that people set up that you could leave and take books from.
Yeah.
Just perusing through, I found, did you know Grant Morrison wrote a Fantastic Four run in like 2001?
What the hell?
I know. I had
Grant
no idea.
Morrison wrote this.
Well, it wasn't Toni Morrison. Yeah, Grant Morrison. It's called Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I was vaguely aware of this. Yeah, I've never read it.
This was just sitting in there. I've never read it either, and I believe I'm about to because this looks fucking rad. The art is by Jay Lee, and it's just like giving it a flip here. Really good. Very early 2000s, like very heavily shaded, and everything's got a bit of a dark sheen on it. But
yeah.
It looks rad. And yeah, I just found it for free. I got to go pop a book in there now.
That is rad. That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? Did you do anything X-Men related this week?
Mostly I've been recovering from this road trip. So like, is there any X-Man that sleeps a lot and gets a lot of allergy headaches?
The Blob, maybe?
Yeah, so I've been very much like the Blob this week.
He looks, and listen, justice for Blob, but he looks like he's constantly got a runny nose.
Yeah, no, other than that, not really. I don't think I did much that was X-Men related this week. Patrick.
Yeah, Matt. What's up, bud?
How about I continue to relax, take a whole load off while you read me all about this, Pat. Read me all about Dazzler #1.
Read me all about it, folks. Dazzler #1. So bright, this star.
All right, not off to a great start.
Tom DeFalco, writer. We just saw Tom DeFalco, Matt. Remind me where?
He wrote the Firestar miniseries.
That's right.
You go to Chris Claremont to introduce the sales gimmick characters. You go to Tom DeFalco to write them.
Exactly. John Romita Jr., penciler. Alfredo Alcala, inker. Glynis Wein, colorist. Joe Rosen, letterer. Louise Jones, editor. And Jim Cooter, editor-in-chief.
All right. So this John Romita Jr. art is not very John Romita Jr., by the way. It is not really representative of the John Romita Jr. we're seeing over in X-Men.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is released December 2nd, 1980. The cover date is March 1981. So we're stepping a few years back. This is a bit earlier in John Romita Jr.'s career, but
yes,
it's very just, I don't know, comic booky. Release date, if I didn't already say it, December 2nd, 1980. Cover date, March 1981. Step back in time here, Matt.
We're going back in time. Picture this podcast 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 6 months ago?
Picture this podcast in 1980.
What would we have sounded like in 19? It might have gone a little something like this.
We open in medias res with Dazzler running from a group of gun-toting gangsters chasing her down an alleyway. When she runs into a dead end, she slips some magnetic roller skates onto her sparkly rhinestone shoes and pulls out a miniature radio blasting a Pink Floyd song.
Yeah.
She then proceeds to use her transform sound into light powers to blind the street toughs and beat them all up until one accidentally shoots her radio.
Gotta boogie these suckers out, she says.
Okay.
What? She's gotta boogie these suckers out.
Immediate pause about boogieing these suckers out.
Okay.
Why does she need the disco ball roller skates? She has them specially built so she can attach them onto shoes at any time. And they're covered in disco ball.
Because disco does roller skates. I mean, it's all just so gimmicky, right?
It is. It's very Roller Girl from Boogie Nights.
Everything about it is gimmicky. It's like everybody's trying to speak in this hip slang, and all of it is fucking weird.
Question 2. Why is she putting on Pink Floyd?
Her favorite disco band.
What is...
Later she puts on Billy Joel. Like this, they keep trying to name, like, that must have been part of the edict, right? Like, let's talk about real cultural stuff and name real artists. But Tom DeFalco is a fucking dork, so he doesn't know what good cool music. He doesn't know what good cool music at the time is. So he's like, she flips on Pink Floyd, and
Pink Floyd, Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
And then later, when she's trying to relax, she puts on Billy Joel. And then at another point when she's singing a song, it's Elton John. Like, it's
the modern analog here would be dancing to The National.
She also calls herself a child of the atom. We haven't heard that in a while.
Oh, yeah. I do love that phrasing.
Yeah. Do you think she's got an M on her ball?
We find that these thugs were hired just to scare Dazzler for turning down a bad record contract, but now they're mad. Thankfully, Spider-Man was swinging by at the time and drops in to save the day.
Yay, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is here.
I think he's in, it's 3 pages, but he's in, I think, 4 panels.
Yeah. Just
Maybe
for
5.
a moment.
Yeah.
Not doing anything really distinct either.
But he ties up the thugs in one of his like web sacks from a street lamp, but then ties their car to the pole of the street lamp.
Back at her apartment, Allison Blair trades her Dazzler uniform for a comfy robe and sulks about her life. She's got no money, her singing career isn't working out, she's lonely, and her father is mad that she isn't going to law school.
Judge Dad.
Her dad is clearly modeled on Charles Bronson. Which is funny Charles because Bronson. He's a judge, yeah. You're going to law school. Just like me. Them's the breaks, kid. In desperation, she calls the X-Men, who pause a Danger Room session to compete for who gets to answer the phone.
It's very fun. So it's very Sam and Max. It's so good.
Storm wins and is excited to hear from Allison. Is she ready to give up her singing career to join the X-Men? But Allison is definitely not ready to give up. So she hangs up the phone, puts on some Billy Joel, and flashes back to the day her mutant power first kicked in.
This is like 3 pages of just X-Men stuff. It like gives us all the X-Men's origins and like displays of their powers as if they're going to be characters in this story. They're not.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
We'll talk about this at the end of the issue, but what?
Yeah, they're here.
Here.
The X-Men definitely exist here is the point of these 5 pages.
Right. Jeez, yeah. So this also, based on this Danger Room exercise, we can tell that this clearly happens between the Dark Phoenix and Kitty fighting the alien. Like it's right in that little chunk of time.
Yes.
Colossus says he's dating Elizabeth. Remember her?
Yes.
When Nightcrawler and Colossus met those girls in Central Park, it was Amanda Sefton and Betsy Wilford. And Amanda kept dating Nightcrawler, but Betsy Wilford broke up with Colossus after she got kidnapped by Arcade. And she was like, I hate this. I don't want to date you. Which was, I think, before this. So, like, I think he's maybe,
Also, they're in the Danger Room and they mentioned that Angel should also be there. But Angel's not on the team at this time. Angel was, they met up with Angel to get help. Like am I misremembering this?
Yeah,
it feels like there's this span of time where officially throughout Marvel Comics, Angel was on the X-Men, but in Chris Claremont's head, it was anytime he needed to be in the comic, they just went to see him out in LA or Nevada or wherever he was staying at the time.
I think there was there was, but between a little bit after Dark Phoenix, I think he joined the team for a minute, and then he left because he hated Wolverine so much.
Right.
So I think this was that during that time.
It's okay. That's a very specific range of time then.
Yeah, we have like 4 X-Men issues that this could have taken place between.
Yeah, we keep hearkening back to this period.
I know so much with. I guess this is exactly when they were hitting their stride. So this is when they were doing all their like promotional tie-ins with everything else.
Yeah. Okay, so we're flashing back to Allie's past. In junior high, against her father's wishes and in spite of a rash of terrible headaches, Allison got the chance to sing on stage at the Gardendale High Spring Spectacular. She's in junior high. She's singing at the high school Spring Spectacular.
Yes.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
As she sang, her mutant powers sprang to life and lights started shooting off of her. Everyone in the crowd just assumed it was some sort of effect, but the whole thing was interrupted.
But we'll talk about it later because it keeps happening, but this bugs me.
But the whole thing was interrupted when the Blazing Lords, a street gang, burst in and started hitting everyone with chains and bats.
God, okay, what was the name of the gang that Rock and Redbone were part of?
It was Satan's
Saints.
Satan's Saints.
How cool would it have been if it was Satan's Saints?
That would have tracked. That would have made sense.
These are guys who just burst into kids' hangouts and beat people up.
They're mad. They literally say, "You'll pay for not inviting us." They're a group of street toughs that didn't get invited to the high school spring dance.
Do they go to this high school? Because if they do, then they are invited. Unless the principal was like made an announcement over the school speakers. Everybody except for anyone in the Blazing Lords.
Hey, guys, no Blazing Lords at the dance this year, okay?
You can come, just don't do your Blazing Lords thing.
This is so funny.
Don't play the Blazing Lords game at the dance.
Yeah, it's like a TikTok phenomenon.
It's not a game, Pops. It's our lifestyle.
Oh, that would be a cool, not to get too far off track here, but that would be a very cool teen trend, is if they started pretending to be street toughs and like pranking school dances, like
bursting into school dances and waving bats and chains around, but like not actually beating anyone up.
Why weren't we invited?
It'd be like when all those videos of the people kids pretending to be little gnomes or elves or something and running through a Walmart. Instead, they're like the warriors or whatever, and they walk in snapping or clinking glass bottles together.
School dances is probably dangerous, but I think I support trends.
I like Mischief. Man, as annoying as it is to see like teenagers do mischief, like when I see those TikToks, I'm like, now as an adult, I'm like, those poor employees that have to deal with those annoying kids. But then,
oh yeah, sure,
I'm like, fuck, I would have done this as a kid. Like, mischief is fun.
It is. It's so. We did it as kids.
Yeah.
And it was a blast.
It was so good. And they're so much more clever than what I did. Like, I would take a trash can and move and put it in front of somebody's front door or something.
Yeah,
like I didn't know what to do. I was like, I want to cause mischief, but I don't know what to do.
The access that the internet provides has forced kids to get really cerebral with their pranks, and it's exactly so much funnier than we would have ever been at that age.
Like I remember filling a kid's mailbox with rocks. Like, that's not very funny.
Yeah. I cut a hole in the bottom of somebody's backpack.
these aren't good pranks. If we had only had the internet to be like, yeah, pretend to be little elves and jump around, make weird noises,
to force you to escalate.
I did do one good prank phone call where we called up a hardware store, and it was like, and I had somebody in the background going like, and I was like, hey, do you guys have any chains or like just a really sturdy rope?
That's pretty good. I had to go into a Target once. I was shopping for props for a sketch where I played like a mugger. So I found the aluminum bats.
Hey, Pat, you're always playing a mugger in sketches.
Yeah? I am. Yeah.
Get it?
Wait, is that like,
like you're mugging? You're mugging
because I mug for the camera a lot.
Yeah, you're mugging for the audience.
I do. I had an aluminum bat in my hand, and I had to go up to an employee and ask if they had any ski masks, and she got a little freaked out. And I thought, oh, if I weren't being sincere, this would have been a great prank.
Very good.
All right. So the blazing lords burst in. Allison lashed out, creating a light so bright everyone passed out and woke up temporarily blind. No one but Allison knew it was her.
Whoa, man. Origin. What a good superhero origin.
Yeah. It is. It's honestly, it's like a Carrie type situation almost.
Like a but she's popular.
But she's popular. Yeah. What if Carrie was popular?
What if Carrie was popular and the bad guys were the blazing lords rather than society?
After that, she continued studying for law school per her father's wishes, playing in bands on the side and practicing her mutant powers.
Okay.
On graduation day, she announced to her father that she would be pursuing music instead of law school, and he turned his back on her.
Aww.
No daughter of mine. Now, 2 years later, she's feeling lost.
So there's a scene here. There's a moment here where she's talking to her grandmother, Grandma Bella. And
Grandma Beautiful.
And she's like, oh, don't worry about her father. He hasn't been able to process his emotions since he ... lost ... your mother. And I was thinking, this is like the protagonist of the Chair Company.
You're reading that in a Tim Robinson voice.
He literally lost her mother in the catacombs below City Hall. But yeah, clearly it's setting up a like she's not dead. She's lost.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I thought she was just being sensitive.
Yeah, I think because it's comics, you have to just be like, oh, they're trying to imply something here.
Okay.
You know comic books?
Me about comics, Matt.
You know comics? Do you ever read comic?
All right. Cut to Asgard.
Why?
Where
Why?
I'm sure this is important. Where some warrior fights his way to declare his love for the Enchantress.
What?
He turns him into a tree.
The end. There was like 4 pages of him fighting his way through warriors.
Yeah. Well, it's a double-sized issue, Matt. You got to fill it out. She goes to her magic fountain of forever to see an image of where some cosmic rift is about to occur.
It's not even a double-sized issue.
Take over the universe, and it shows her a disco in Manhattan. Okay. Enchantress decides she will go there in disguise. Is this explained why there's some realm-changing event taking place?
Number 1, no. Number 2,
at the disco?
I can't wait to see what the Enchantress's disguise and fake name are. It can't be that she just wears her costume and calls herself the Enchantress, because she says right here, I have to go in disguise.
She sure does.
Okay.
Now, we cut to the Avengers Mansion, where Beast...
Why?
Beast!
Okay, I like him.
Sees something in a newspaper that gets him all excited. He sees an opportunity that will allow him to meet someone he's all horned up for, Dazzler.
Okay. It fucking, again, they do it. It's 4 pages of like, showing off all the X-Men's powers. Like, oh, the Beast bounces around the hallway. The Wasp
He runs
shrinks.
into several Avengers.
Yeah, and
they even show Captain America and Iron Man just in the other room.
In the other room doing some project, and they talk about their relative differences in their strength. And and then Hawkeye runs in for one panel, and they're like, "Put your bow and arrows away, Hawkeye the archer." Like, fucking, what are you doing?
So, the plan for this, just like all the other characters that they made Chris Claremont introduce, the plan for this was to try to appeal to women, girls. And what I think they're thinking here is to say, hey, girls, since you don't like comic books, why don't you try some of these other comic books if you're enjoying this?
I couldn't tell if this was all about, we are going to get so many new readers when we launch this Disco Dazzler comic book that we have to introduce all our other comics to like get people to pick those up. Or if it was the very opposite, like, man, we don't have any faith in this at all. Let's put every character in it. Because I think it's probably more what you're talking about, because they give intros to all the characters like they're trying to teach you about them.
I think, well, this was stuck in production hell for, 3 or 4 years. Right. It's probably both. At one point, it was probably for the former. At another point, it was probably for the latter.
Like, we got to put every superhero in this thing so people buy it. And then later, they were like, ooh, people are going to buy this one. Make sure every time you introduce a superhero, they tell you everything about themselves.
I think the inverse. I think when they first came up with the idea, they were like, this is brilliant. It'll pull in so many disco readers, and then we can introduce them to the X-Men and the Avengers. And then after Casablanca Records pulled out, the movie got canceled. They were like, okay, good thing we have every superhero appearing in here, because otherwise this would not sell.
Oh, boy. All right.
What a fucking mess. This isn't even the end of issue number 1, man.
And they put a lot of these guys on the cover too. They put Nightcrawler and Iron Man and Spider-Man on the cover, and it's like they don't really have anything to do with the story here.
They just wave. Okay. Beast shows up at Dazzler's apartment window.
Creepy.
With the newspaper in hand, featuring a story that a singer took ill and a local disco is looking for a replacement. Allison shows up at this club, numero uno. That's Spanish for number 1, Matt.
Oh.
Just as Stevie Wildfire is wrapping up a spate of bad auditions.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just in time for us to find out that the Enchantress was the one who caused the singer to be sick, and she's also here auditioning.
In her Enchantress outfit, calling herself the Enchantress.
The Enchantress.
Nice disguise.
Enchantress is the frontrunner until Dazzler sings and gets the job. Enchantress is humiliated and infuriated, and she vows revenge. To be continued elsewhere if you care.
So, we're not going to cover any other issues of actual Dazzler. Well, I'll run through all the like shit that happens over the next 30 issues or whatever. But I get so mad at this thing that happens with Dazzler over and over and over, which is she sings and she starts like sparkling and glowing, like lights start coming off of her.
Yes.
And everybody in every audience or who she's auditioning for or whatever the case may be say, she's so beautiful and she sings so good. It's almost like she's glowing. That's not normal, right? You've never...
Yeah, for people to be like, oh, well, that's physically impossible, so I must be losing my mind.
Entire audiences think, entire audiences that live in a world with superheroes and mutants and stuff go like, wow, she's so good at singing. I must be hallucinating that she's sparkling and that light is glowing off of her.
Yes.
People have done this people do this in like every appearance of Dazzler ever. And it always blows my mind, like why they
It's
think
so
we would
strange.
swallow that conceit.
She skates by real far this episode on people just assuming it's advanced special effects.
Exactly. And that's another thing. She's like, oh, people think it's, sometimes she's like, oh, people think it's just lighting effects. But the fucking venues know it's not, because they would have to set those up. The guy who does the lighting is like, I didn't do any lighting effects. She must be a mutant, right? Like,
the last page is a big splash page. The end of this comic is Enchantress swearing revenge on Dazzler for beating her in a singing competition. Now what I want is a series where Dazzler keeps beating out supervillains in singing competitions because they can't really sing, but they exploited their way there. And they band together to try to kill her. It's like, this is how she puts her rogues gallery together. Is she keeps just being better on American Idol than other fucking...
That would be so much better than what actually happens in the Dazzler comics.
I'll bet. Matt, do you want to
tell me about it? Do you want me to tell you about it? All right. Also,
yeah.
Jarvis calls Beast Mr. Beast.
Ooh, you can't say that, Jarvis. That guy's bad news. That guy's canceled.
All right.
Cue emails. What's wrong with Mr. Beast?
Yeah, I like Mr. Beast.
Actually, right. Mr. Beast is giving.
Mr. Beast, he's actually generous. Actually, instead of donating to charity, he forces poor people to fist fight for it. I'll give you 8 Teslas if you can eat 7 gallons of arsenic in one sitting.
Can I take the cash equivalent?
Whoever has the ugliest dick gets this PlayStation 6.
Whoever dies first wins $1 million.
Will you eat your own child? I'll give you a Nintendo Switch 4. All right. So I'll catch everybody up to speed on what's going on in Dazzler before we get to her graphic novel, her OGN. So, all right. So, Pat, I don't know what you ask. Feel free to ask me some questions along the way, and I'll answer to the best.
This is all
of my
new
ability. So, that first issue wraps up in issue 2 with every single superhero in the Marvel universe shows up to watch Dazzler sing at this disco.
Oh,
and they're all like in tuxes and stuff. Like it's
it's
Tom,
a ball.
Yeah, Tom DeFalco forgot what this thing was. And so when the Enchantress attacks, all the superheroes are there, and then they fight and win. And because she has so many superhero friends, they like intimidate this record producer Harry S. Osgood into signing her to a record deal and like a promotional
exploitation.
Deal. Yes, exactly. Like she goes to his office, he says no, and then every superhero appears and stands behind her with their arms folded. He's like, okay, fine.
Boy.
He sets her up with a band full of weirdos. Like they're these supporting characters. The drummer loves to eat. All he does is eat. Like that's his whole personality. He eats stuff. And she's got a bodyguard named Lance Steele.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, he's just like, there's something fun about Lance Steele because they constantly have him being like this, showing up as a tough guy. But then when actual things break out, he's like a coward and he runs and hides. So that's pretty fun.
That's good.
Though they kind of forget that after a while, and then he does start getting in fights and stuff, but he usually loses them, so that's fun. Over the next dozen or so issues, Dazzler doesn't want to be a hero, but stuff keeps popping up that makes her like have to get into costume and fight.
Sure, that'll happen.
So she fights Dr. Doom, she fights Nightmare, she fights the Hulk, she fights this new guy called Blue Shield, who's like a criminal who wants to be a hero. And so he's actually, I think Blue Shield's an interesting character, and he's got an interesting character design, and he's constantly bouncing back and forth. Like, how do I provide for my family being a hero? Like, I'm heroic, but it's like a Walter White, if Walter White had superpowers.
Okay.
And, and the Enforcers work for a villain named Techmaster, who has beef with Harry Osgood. So he
Sure.
becomes like her first rogues gallery, like recurring nemesis. Also, this comic's a lot about her dating life. So she dates a doctor named Paul Jansen. He's got a secretary who hates her and is like constantly like she calls and the secretary's like, oh, he's not here. And then she's like, and Paul's like, has Dazzler called? And the secretary's like, no. So it's just that.
Just catty about it.
Human Torch falls in love with her. Beast falls in love with her. Neither of those really go anywhere. Eventually, she gets kidnapped by Marvel Man, aka Quasar.
Okay, yeah.
And Project Pegasus, where they want to like study her. Yeah.
And we found out in Secret Wars, absorbs Claw.
Yeah.
The Sound Man.
She absorbed Claw. Yeah. Because they were also doing experiments on her for her ability to turn sound into light. And they were doing experiments on Claw for being made of sound. And
yeah.
Claw is like, these guys are evil. They're holding me against my will. You've got to get us both out of here. They're torturing me. And then she frees him and he's like, ha, I tricked you, sucker. And it's like, well, but you didn't. You were being honest. You're like, yes, okay, you want to go get free to do villain stuff, but they did kidnap both of you and they're experimenting on you both. And so she absorbs him. And because she absorbs him, one of Galactus's like robot assistants is like, look how powerful this woman is. She'll become Galactus's new herald. And she becomes the new herald of Galactus when Terrax runs away into a black hole. And Galactus is like, the only person who can survive a black hole is the light girl. So she sends his new herald, Dazzler, into the black hole to get Terrax.
What about Dagger? She's a light girl.
He wasn't thinking about about Dagger.
Racist.
So here during the Galactus story, Danny Fingeroth takes over from Tom DeFalco, and he stops doing this parade of heroes and villains, and he turns it into more of like an actual story, like things. Story beats logically follow one another for a while. I'm not saying it's good, but it's way, way better. And he leans into the romance comic of it all. The Dazzler's lonely and she wants a boyfriend thing.
A little less Galactic Warrior, a little more boyfriends.
So Paul dumps her because he's like, I can't take this. Your life is too crazy. Okay. I think it, and I can't remember if he knows she's Dazzler or if it's like, you just keep disappearing and don't tell me what's happening, like a Spider-Man.
The old
thing.
Peter Parker, yeah,
exactly. She goes on trial for the murder of Claw, which rules, and then she starts dating her, and she's found not guilty, and she starts dating her lawyer Ken, who has a curly red afro and a red mustache.
Is that ethical?
She hires Spider-Woman to find her missing mother, because she starts to believe that her mother might be alive.
Right. Her mother is lost, not dead.
Yes. The comic here also becomes like a lot more sexy. Dazzler's always fighting and teaming up with female characters. She keeps getting into situations where she's wet, or we see her changing her clothes, or her clothes get torn, or she's showering, or she's just laying around her house in her underwear. Like a lot of that. This
will segue smoothly into the graphic novel.
Yeah, a lot of her just like taking off her bra, but from behind.
Yeah.
So Enchantress comes back, challenges her to some kind of contest, but she wins, and Odin gives her a magic harp, but that never comes back.
Okay.
Angel shows up. He becomes infatuated with her. He like flies to he moves back to New York just because he has a crush on Dazzler. He and Candy Southern broke up.
He and Candy Southern broke up?
Yeah, they broke up.
That's a shame.
Eventually a love triangle starts between Angel and Ken and Dazzler. Like at during the day she's dating Ken, but at night she's flying around with Angel and she's kissing him. Angel finds out about her mother, and then he like starts trying to find her. Whatever. The mother
With
thing
her
is
permission, or is this
no.
is he just trying to do a grand surprise?
That.
You fucking Warren, you idiot.
It gets so weird, dude. But the mother finds her, creates a bunch of family drama, like, oh, is my dad actually my dad? And blah, 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 blah. It gets resolved when she sings a song about family and everyone cries. And now she's got good relationships with everyone.
Okay.
She's hanging out with Angel when the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants attack him. Just because X-Men stuff. But Dazzler saves Angel, like thwarts their plans, and so now Rogue is like, I hate you and I hate you forever and I'm gonna kill you. This
is Rogue era Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Mm-hmm. It's just Destiny, Rogue, and Mystique.
Yeah. The Sisterhood of Evil Mutants.
Ooh.
A very specific era, once again.
So Rogue comes after Dazzler and Dazzler meets her sister.
Okay.
Rogue comes after Dazzler and her sister a whole lot until the time where the X-Men are presumed dead in space. Remember that?
Yes.
And so Dazzler's like, stop it! The X-Men are all dead anyway. And Rogue's like, fine, you're off the hook. I'll stop chasing you down because the X-Men now I don't care. Then the writing gets super weird and keeps shifting between Steve Grant, Jim Shooter, Frank Springer, who's the penciler for like the longtime penciler, Frank Springer, Mike Carlin, Danny Fingeroth. There's some other writers in here too for like 10 issues or so. It just keeps fucking shifting writers. Jeez. And the book becomes kind of like a crime comic. Like every issue is about some scheme that she gets wrapped up in. Like she meets somebody and they are secretly doing some sort of crime. And then there's this long running story where her sister turns out to have a death touch power.
Oh.
And she accidentally kills a homeless person. So
thank God it's a homeless person.
I know.
What the fuck?
I know. And then a cat. She kills a cat too. And then so Dazzler, so she's afraid. She starts getting blackmailed about it. Somebody has pictures of her killing this homeless person. And Dazzler
turn her in.
Dazzler puts on a black wig. And then they get on a bus and start taking a road trip across the country to Los Angeles to escape the blackmailer. They also get attacked by Rogue a couple times on this trip, and she's trying to kill them. Now, and then they run into the other person who might have been her father, but he is her sister's father because the blackmailer asks her to kill them. It's weird. This is very weird.
Okay.
But it's very crime comic-y, but bad, kind of a bad crime comic.
This is all over the span of 10 to 12 issues.
Yeah.
Weird.
And now she's living in LA. Her entire supporting cast is gone. The eating guy, Harry S. Osgood, Techmaster, all of them. The
gone.
Blue Shield, Angel, Ken, Paul, all of them. Lance Steele, they're gone.
Just her and her sister.
Now she's living in LA with her sister. She meets a movie star named Roman Nekobo, who is trying to romance her and get her to star in a movie with him. Like he wants to tie their careers together.
Okay, this is some context we need.
Yeah, she also meets Millie the model and Chili Storm at some point. The old Marvel characters.
Sick. That's awesome.
And she saves a bunch of models from like a serial killer.
I was a herald of Galactus, and also I met Millie the model.
So yeah, that's basically it. It was like a superhero comic, then a romance comic, then a crime comic. After what we are reading today, it'll become like a thriller comic for a little while, written by Peter David, and it's not good.
Okay.
Peter David usually is amazing, but at the last few issues of this are like, they're more about like a super spy that she meets, or not a spy, a bounty hunter that she meets, than they are about Dazzler.
Sure. Sort of a change of course, trying to cash in and get a new comic line started.
Yeah, it seems like a backdoor pilot kind of thing where, it's like she ends up, but that's later. Right now, she's in LA. She has a hit record. She gets very famous very quickly, which
that's a good way to keep a low profile and stay away from your blackmailer.
Dim Dupid seems to forget that she's super famous at the beginning of this graphic novel, but that is the status quo for her right now. She just got mega famous.
Okay. And that brings us right up to
Marvel graphic novel number 12.
Whoa.
It's Dazzler the movie.
Dazzler, the comic, the movie, the comic.
The graphic novel, the movie, the comic. It is by James Blooper, Frank Springer.
James.
I know, it sucks. Frank Springer and Vince Coletta. Lettering by John Morelli, coloring by Christy Scheel, editor Ralph Macchio, editor James Glooper. Release date, July 10th, 1984. Cover date, October 1984. Do you have any other questions before we launch into this graphic novel?
No.
Okay. So the issue opens up. I just want to talk about this first panel first. It opens up with a full page spread of Dazzler looking straight at the audience, doing like
lying on her back,
jazzercise or whatever, lying on her back, her boobs like sort of falling out of her top.
Yeah.
And her legs
towards the camera slightly.
Face towards her butt out and her legs fully stretched, so you can see basically just her whole body. And
legs
it is
fully
like
stretched 90 degrees up in the air.
Yes. And it is like them saying, "Hey, just in case you don't realize what this is." Like, this is what this is what we're here for.
Yes. This is
sexy woman.
Frank Springer is horned up the entire run of this graphic novel. It's a little uncomfortable.
It's like, I always think this when, have you ever read The Wheel of Time?
I haven't, no, but you've told me a lot about it.
Yeah. So in The Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan gets so horny so often, and he's like I think like a Mormon or something. Like, he's a very religious, very like from some very conservative religious tradition, and the sexual repression just comes out constantly. Like, people don't just fold their arms; they fold their arms across their breasts.
Yeah.
Somebody's not just wearing a necklace, they have a brooch sitting, like hung from a chain, sitting between their breasts. People are always getting naked, like every female character is always naked, and it's like, dude, jerk off before you write. Like, go jerk off, then sit down to write. And I feel the same thing about Frank Springer's drawings. Just like, jerk off, then come draw your comic.
Just get all that energy out.
Get it out
before you sit down at the table.
Yes, because we don't need to see this.
This is embarrassing.
So Allison Blair leads a crowded dance exercise class at the prestigious Los Angeles Health and Racket Club.
Ooh.
When she starts to glow. When she starts to grow.
The bionic woman.
What if all of a sudden they changed everything about Dazzler for the when she starts to glow just a little, everyone that sees it dismisses it as her just being super hot, and a couple of men are bold enough to approach her after. There's a dude who's like, he's bald and he's got glasses, and he's drawn to be pretty fucking ugly.
Yeah. He's like a frumpy guy with a hot wife.
And his wife is mega hot. And he's like, man, she's so beautiful. I wish I was with her. And it's like, to his wife. And it's like, and she's like, if you'd said that about anybody else, you'd be sleeping in the couch. Why are you saying that about anybody? Your wife is too good for you.
Yeah, this is like a sitcom husband.
Just be grateful for what you have, bro. And other people approach her and they're like, hey, you're incredibly sexy. And this is something that's going to really bug me throughout this. Is she says, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of like, hey, women like it when you say this about them. Which,
And, yeah.
once we get past the graphic novel, I think there's some very strong pushback on.
And there's a lot of like her internal dialogue where she's like, oh, I don't like that he said that to me, but he's just trying to be nice, and I don't want to be a rude woman.
Oh my God.
So I'm
Jim's
going
stupid.
to, and like she's just constantly stroking the egos of men who are hitting on her, and it is Jim Stupid who is writing this, and like fucking so clearly, this is how he thinks women are.
Yes.
Like this is what he thinks the ideal woman is. It's about to happen here. Okay, so the first guy that hits on her is Eric Beale, a hotshot film producer who calls her sexy. She says thank you and promises her a successful career, which she rejects. The second is Freddie Stanachek, a timid incel who offers to buy her carrot juice.
So, timid incel is a very concise way to sum this up, but the drawing that we see, the character that we see here is modeled off of young Jim Shooter.
100% looks exactly like him.
Yeah. And his philosophy is upsetting. Like he is talking the way that you see incels talk on message boards, but it's coming off as charming, apparently.
He does two things. One that's kind of charming, which is he's like, man, I'm so bad at talking to women. I'm so sorry. I wanted to talk to you, and I'm screwing this all up. And like, that's fine. That's cute. Whatever.
Maybe.
And then
you need some charisma to pull that off. But
the other thing that he's doing is this. Wow, I can't believe you talked to me. Everybody I talk to is usually so stuck up and such rude pieces of shit, and I fucking hate. Like,
yeah, it's like so hard to make friends because everybody else sucks. They're too good for me.
I have trouble meeting.
Too good for me.
I have trouble meeting people, and every time I talk to somebody, they think they're so cool and so tough and so hot, and it's like, yeah, of course you have trouble meeting people. You fucking hate people.
Yeah, this is that Dazzler's like, we just give people a chance, but that's so normal that you hate everyone you've ever met except for the hottest woman you've ever seen.
That's so sweet of you. Yeah, like this is that fucking nice guy bullshit where it's like, guys, if you have trouble making friends or meeting women, maybe it's because you are not giving people enough of a shot. Maybe it's because you are being somehow like this is what antisocial means. You are setting yourself against all human beings. Yeah. And then you're like, why don't people like me? It's because you hate people.
He offers her he proposes a juice bar date.
I see again. That's the part I think is cute.
I knew you'd never, but like, could you please, like, can I, like, maybe buy you a carrot juice?
I like that. What I don't like is him just being like, man, every time I talk to a girl, she turns her nose up at me. And again, it's portrayed as sweet. So as soon as Freddie asks, Eric Beale returns in a crazy fucking disco shirt.
It's crazy. It is. It's like the Western trim, but it's white with black polka dots. Insane.
Maybe this is where they got the idea for the Spot, the Spider-Man villain. He reveals that he just bought the club, and she works for him now. He demands an immediate meeting in private, but Allie rejects him in lieu of that carrot juice with Freddie. They have a nice date, and they make out a little.
So Freddie wins after all this. He gets the... Yeah. This is so...
She does it to be nice. Like, she's so clear throughout the whole thing. Like, I'm not going to be your girlfriend. I'm doing this because I believe in you, not because I like you.
Yeah.
And even the kiss is like, she does it to boost his confidence. And that is fucking how Jim Shooter thinks that the ideal woman is. Like, they make themselves a tool for
you to learn how to find a wife.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so fucking weird.
It's how
Also,
he thinks a strong, independent woman is written. Is like, oh, she's not going to just fall for any guy, but she will use her sexuality to make men feel better about themselves.
Also, when they're kissing, he says, "Oh, wow." Don't do that, dude.
Oh, man. Dazzler returns home afterwards and turns on her stereo, letting her light shine as she gets nude in front of the mirror.
Yep. It is okay.
She starts talking to her reflection and like hitting on herself.
It's supposed to reflect her getting home, letting go, being comfortable, and kind of like letting the light out that she keeps hidden from the world all day. But she also gets nude and looks at herself in a mirror while she does it. I know we love to inform people when characters are nude. We cannot possibly list all the times someone is nude in this comic. These Dazzler specifically, we just have to mention it when it's plot relevant.
Exactly. Yeah. Or, you know, at the very, like, the times that even when she's wearing clothes, her boobs are way, way out.
Yeah.
Is nonstop. And like the amount of times she bends over with her butt towards the pant.
Yeah, and her shorts are like riding up a little bit so you can see all the outlines.
Oh my God.
It's fucking
yes, I did
pervert shit. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. The next day, as Allie reads about anti-mutant sentiment in the newspaper, Storm calls. She's worried about all this anti-mutant sentiment and wanted to check in, knowing that Allie's powers are part of her show. She uses the word flaunt. You flaunt your powers.
You know, it's very passive aggressive. It was very like, because, you know, you flaunt your powers on stage all the time.
You know how you're so irresponsible and we keep warning you against it? I just wanted to make sure no one was killing you. Allie's got no time for that now, though, as it's almost time for her first ever LA show. We get some X-Men here. Kurt walks up the stairs on his hands.
He does. Why is he doing that? Also,
oh no,
we get a mohawked Storm attending to the plants in her attic. I don't think so. She killed all those plants.
Yeah, she doesn't
do plants anymore.
She hates plants. She hates plants now because she has a mohawk. Because Yukio wouldn't like plants.
Exactly. Fucking idiots.
Read a book.
Also, this is what you're talking about, where the series and Jim Stupid diverge on her level of fame, because this is her first ever show in Los Angeles.
Right. And she is living in a shitty apartment and she has no money and she has no contracts and whatever. So up in Beverly Hills, an aging, balding, plump actor named Roman Nekobo.
I'm pretty sure it's Nekobo because he does some rhymes with it.
Okay. He's awoken by his butler Ziggy at 7 p.m. Everyone's got to have a Jarvis. Everyone's got a Jarvis. In this book, in all these Dazzler comics, everybody has a Jarvis.
Yeah.
Later, somebody else will have a Jarvis.
In fact, Ziggy is doing some pretty intense stretches. It looks like he is getting ready to kick someone's ass.
Well, because
doing Roman, like a shoulder stand on the ground.
Because Roman is like, hey, man, I'm looking tubby. Do some calisthenics for me, will you, Zig? And so Ziggy just starts exercising for him in the background of all the panels.
But he's fucking good at it. He's like doing ninja warm-ups.
So he rolls a young woman out of his bed, puts on a corset and a suit and a toupee, also dentures and contacts.
Right.
And demands Ziggy find him the contact information for Dazzler, a woman he apparently spent all of yesterday harassing. So this looks like an idealized version of older Jim Shooter.
Oh, to me, this read as Ronald Reagan. This was like pre-president, sort of dwindling film career Ronald Reagan.
Okay, I think I don't think you're wrong. Also, in when Dazzler's star was taking off in the comic, there was like a cutaway to her starring in a film with Robert Redford.
Oh,
So I think maybe there's a little bit of that here too.
maybe Robert Redford still got the juice though at this time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is supposed to be a person who has already aged out of their career, or who is in the late stages of their career but still trying to hold on to their youth.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, and Hollywood hasn't quite figured out that they don't have it anymore.
Exactly. They've still got the facade up, and it's kind of working.
Yeah. So that night, Allison wraps up her show. The modest audience completely wrapped. Eric Beale watches from a table in the back with his assistant Smythe, who has no hair whatsoever, no eyebrows, no hair, no eyelashes. Just, yeah. When the show ends, Allison is suddenly swamped by paparazzi, asking her if the rumors are true. Is she really dating and making a movie with Roman Noboko?
Nakobo.
And they're also like, did you used to be a porn star? Are you fucking this guy? Like they ask so many crazy questions.
The gossip mill is turning.
Mm-hmm. On stage, this is where she sings Elton John. She sings I'm
still standing.
I'm still standing.
Which is at least like a danceable song. That one's a little more upbeat.
We find out that the girl who left Roman Nikobo's room that morning was named Susan Twobooms.
Susan Twobooms. Loser League.
Loser League, Susan Twobooms. She's dating that cowboy. What was the cowboy's name?
Porter Mac.
She's dating
Susan Twobooms and Porter Mac.
Is dating Susan Twobooms.
The Mac and Twobooms miniseries.
All right. She dashes home to try to avoid the reporters, but when she walks into her apartment, Roman Nikobo himself is there waiting on her couch.
Huh.
He offers her the world if she'll just have sex with him, which she declines. He tries to force himself on her until she screams, and then he tells her career is dead as she storms out. Allie is shattered. Also, her fucking coffee table is shattered.
Yes, yeah.
He physically attacks her
down.
Yes, he like climbs on top of her. He forces a kiss on her. And I don't think Jim Stupid knows that he just turned Roman Nikobo from an unlikable guy into a monster.
There's two things going on here. Number one is they're taking a look at the way things kind of work in Hollywood, saying like, hey, these powerful men will use their influence just to have sex with women, and they will blacklist them if the women won't have sex with them.
Right. Hey, good point. Great point. Good thing to draw attention to. But
exactly. And also that's an open secret in Hollywood that we didn't confront until the last few years, which is super fucked up. But that leads into the second thing that's happening here, which is we're about to get to know Roman very well. He's going to be a major ally to Allie through the rest of this graphic novel. Like, absolutely, Jim Stupid doesn't see this as a monstrous thing to do. It's like he points out this terrible thing and then is like, I guess he fucked up. You know, he got a little too Or not even that. He's just, well, we'll get there, but he's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
impressed by her.
it's like this
He
is
respects her now.
he's like, he went too far, but this is just what happens, is almost what Jim Stupid's saying. Like,
Exactly.
hey,
Yeah.
this is bad, but like, he's still just a normal guy.
I hate
this is still
so
what
fucking
normal
much.
guys do. Yeah. It's really disturbing.
And like, you can argue with that being a product of the time, but you read this scene here and he's painted as a monster until,
but yes,
it's just accepted as what people do.
He's not painted as a monster though. That's the thing. He's painted as a jerk when he's being a monster. That is my problem with it. He's like, it's like if somebody,
I'm saying anyone, even at the time, could look at this and say, "This is terrible." He's trying to force himself on her.
He's trying to rape a woman.
Yeah.
Yet it's treated like he made a little too strong. He got a little too drunk and made a little too strong of a pass at somebody. Is what it's painted as. It's like as if he was in a like as if they met in a club and he was like. He too quickly said, "Hey, want to go back to my place?" And you're like, "What a creep!" But not like a fucking ghoul. Not like a ghoulish goblin should be in jail. It's complicated because it's painted negatively, but not negatively enough.
Yeah.
The next day, Roman pulls up in a fancy car, offering that they have a fresh start. Allie declines. He pursues, and she literally starts running down the street.
Terrifying.
When he fakes a heart attack, she's charmed by this, I guess, and agrees to get coffee with him. He's like, "Oh, you did like," she's like, "Oh my God, he's dying." And he's like, "So you do care."
Which is, and that's supposed to be cute. That's the thing. Like, he pulls up in it. He assaults her. He leaves. He pulls up next to her as she's leaving her apartment the next day. And I'm like, terrifying. And then she is trying to leave. She keeps trying to nicely reject.
He broke into her apartment, by the way, before he assaulted her. He broke into her apartment.
Yes. And then he gets out of his car and starts chasing her down the street. I thought that was supposed to be terrifying for her. But it's not. She's just being smarmy and then and like sassy and cool about it, and then falls in love with him a moment later.
It sucks.
So fucking weird. Such a warped perception of how relationships work.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's even more charmed when he's impressed that she turned him down, making him want to work with her even more. She agrees to the movie, and suddenly she's lost in a whirlwind of designer clothes, fancy houses, and red carpets as she gains fame. Through the experience, she falls in love with Roman, and the two become a hot item.
Okay.
Yeah, she just suddenly just falls in love with him. Like it's that quick that it's like, oh, she's in love with him. And there's no like series of him doing charming things or being kind to her or showing her that he actually is a good person. It's just he continues being shallow and vapid, and she's like, I love you.
Yeah, it's him buying her all the nice things in the world. And then one day she's like, what if we kissed? And then they kiss. And then immediately the moment after, she's like, I love you.
You would think the point here is that Allison Blair is a shallow, vapid, fame-hungry.
Yeah, she is overwhelmed by this. She's drunk on her fame.
You would, yes, that is what it would seem to be implying here. But I don't think that's what, well, again, it's kind of what Jim Stupid is saying, but not really.
But he's not necessarily saying it's a bad thing.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Isn't it great? She's getting everything she ever wanted.
Yeah. And Hollywood's a little fucked up, but if you play the game, you get the rewards, and that's what's happening for Dad. And it's like, it is this sort of like both sides of like, it's great. Okay, the movie itself is in trouble. No one wants to back a film starring someone that was seen hanging out with the X-Men. No one that is, except for Eric Beale. Allie's suspicious of his motives here. She says that he's like a super creep because he asked her out and then bought the club that she worked at. Like she tells that to Roman.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty creepy thing to do.
That's creepy. But that is the sort of that's that sort of bombastic overexpression, like hyper interest that Jim Stupid's trying to paint Roman as being.
Right.
But with Eric, he had him buy a club to be like, hey, you said you're not allowed to go out with patrons. Well, now I own the club, so I can change the rules. That is 1,000 times also creepy, but 1,000 times more charming than fucking breaking into somebody's house and assaulting them and then showing up at their door the next day. And yet she thinks what Roman did was charming. She thinks what Eric did was so creepy, it's unforgivable. And it's like, what the fuck is your compass here?
The point is there is none. There's no moral compass. This is about showing off Dazzler's butt.
I know. Yeah, all right. We're going to yell about this even more as we keep going. But okay, so Roman is so happy about the movie getting made that she can look past it. She's doing this for Roman. And she consistently repeats, I'm doing this for you, not for me.
Yeah.
They try to celebrate, but Allie needs to come clean. She reveals to Roman that she really is a mutant. He says he already knows, and he accepts her for what she is, and they tenderly bone down.
Oh.
We're suddenly in another whirlwind with Allie, this time one of romance. She and Roman visit the finest vacation spots and restaurants, being seen together the whole time. She eventually moves into his mansion, and upon seeing herself in the mirror for the first time in a while, did she didn't go to the bathroom this whole time?
I don't know.
She doesn't quite recognize herself. Her lavish lifestyle has changed her. She dismisses her maids, turns on the music, undresses, and starts glowing. She's just staring at herself nude in the mirror.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a parallel, but you haven't given us anything to chew on for this to pay off.
Yeah. No time for that now, though. Roman bursts in on her naked ass and demands she sees the latest headline. The whole world knows she's a mutant. She's outraged, but he's thrilled. He leaked this news himself. The publicity alone from such a landmark work of art, he explains, will make them legends.
Okay.
Okay.
This is where I think I got my most confused about what the metaphor here is supposed to be, because he just outed her publicly. This is a real thing that's happening in contemporary news where in the queer community where gay people's identities are being leaked to the papers. As soon as you find out someone's gay, even if you're their friend, that is worth so much money and it can destroy their career.
You're talking about contemporary meaning at the time of this book.
So yeah.
Yes.
In the early 80s, that's the environment we live in. That's also sort of the path that Claremont is going down. Like his strongest analog for how he's written mutants so far is the queer community, the gay people he knows.
Yes.
But they don't address that at all here. It's just like, she's like, oh, I didn't really want that to be out. And then they talk about how it'll be a huge deal. It'll be great publicity for the film.
Right.
What gets clarified immediately after here, though, is Roman is like, you'll be the next Jackie Robinson. And then we think back to the conversations that Allie's had, or the moments that she's had where they address the anti-mutant sentiment.
Right.
It just made I don't think it's a metaphor that he's drawing. I think it's the source that Jim Stupid is drawing from here is Jackie Robinson's integration into baseball. This is straight black and white race issue for him
Right.
that he has one example of a famous person overcoming diversity for. And it's
Yeah.
just so muddled because like he's not a metaphor guy. We know
No.
that. And there's no subtlety to it. So this is the moment that I was most confused and then immediately was like, oh, what? I see what you're doing. You've fucking
Like he doesn't know. Yeah. And he doesn't know what he's writing. And
yeah.
I think it's very important to remember all this as we go into Secret Wars 2,
Okay.
which is his big self-insert political social screed.
Yeah.
There's a thing. Alison Blair's character is complex, right? And this is something I think Ann Nocenti thoughtfully picks up on, is what Allison thinks she wants and what Allison wants are two different things. She thinks she wants to be wrapped up in a relationship and love, but what she really wants is independence. And whenever she doesn't have it, she feels oppressed and less like herself. She thinks she wants this lifestyle, this vapid lifestyle of fame and whatever, but what she really wants is this form of self-expression. And sometimes that requires fame, but as the closer she gets to fame, the more miserable she is, and she just fucking loves to sing. Right? So I do not mind a story about her getting wrapped up in love, about her getting swept away by Hollywood, about her losing herself and trying to find herself again. I really don't mind a story about a mutant being, about the first out and proud mutant, and that mutant being resistant to the idea of being out, and it going in some complicated directions because the world still has complicated feelings about mutants. Really, the thing that makes me so mad about this is just Roman. Why is it Roman she falls in love with?
Yeah. Especially, and I didn't know this coming into this, but especially since he was somebody that rejected her in the main comic line.
This whole story would have been so much more important. Not important. This story would have been so much better had he just made Roman a kind of a nice guy at the beginning.
Yeah.
That he wanted to do this comedic, failed Lothario stumbling over himself to try and have sex with a woman character. Basically ruined this whole book. And the fact that he, didn't realize that rape was bad.
And his treatment of women and
yes, like
all that, of course,
ruined this whole book. And it's just because Jim Stupid doesn't understand the very, very basics of feminism.
Well, buckle up, folks, because we are at the halfway point of this graphic novel.
And to underline that, one of the things that she points out that is a sign of her becoming bad and losing herself is that she is putting on weight.
Yes, that is so. I mean, not uncommon for someone to look at themselves in the mirror and say, oh, "I'm fat," but
it's clearly the writer's perspective. Yeah.
This is more like she's drawn as a beautiful and just somewhat curvy woman, and it's true that like if you're drinking, if you're eating rich foods all the time, there is a very specific type of chubby that you become. But that's not how they're drawing her whatsoever. She's still this model beautiful woman, and looking at herself in the mirror, beautiful form, and saying, oh, I'm too fat. Right.
And so not only is it just, it's fucked up because she doesn't look fat in even the slightest bit, but also because that is supposed to be a character moment of like, oh, I'm getting fat, I'm losing who I truly am. Like, what the fuck?
Like, it's not okay to have a little extra.
Yeah, it means evil.
And not to say that that isn't like impressed into our culture today, but just to say that this is clearly the writer looking at that and thinking it.
And being like, one thing that would happen if you lost yourself is you'd also get fat. And
exactly.
The very next day, she's giving a press conference on the LAX tarmac in a bikini for some reason, with a dozen commercial jets lined up behind her.
It's a pre-9/11 world.
After a few remarks, Roman gives the signal and the plane engines start roaring, giving Dazzler the power she needs to start lighting up. Feeding off the gasps, Roman signals the planes to rev their engines higher, resulting in a piercing noise that starts to deafen the crowd. Allie notices this and starts absorbing the sound, glowing brighter and brighter as she completely removes the noise of the jet engine.
Dude, they... Just to pause for 1 second, because this is an impactful moment, but when she is standing there, like, kind of levitating and glowing and absorbing all the light, they draw her fucking nipples protruding through her bikini. Like, her bikini is already just a tiny triangle meant to cover up the nipple region.
Yeah.
And they draw the little bumps. It's so...
Yeah. It's supposed to be an empowering moment where, like, I'm at the apex of my power and I'm showing it to the world. I am bare in front of the world. You don't have to sexualize it too, right? Like, you didn't have to.
And
do
also,
that.
I've got huge boobs.
Somebody in the audience says, "Check out those bazooms," and
they really do. That's real. That happens.
Roman has like some women check out her body and is like, "Face it, boys, I couldn't trust any of you," just to prove that she's actually a mutant. She's not hiding any gadgets or whatever.
Yeah,
she's like, "I'm gonna have these women check out her body because I couldn't trust any of you jets to do this." Fucking shut the fuck up. The very next day, the crowd starts to panic. She's a mutant. It's true. What if she goes on a violent rampage? Allie is... So what if she puts too much light on us?
The entire press corps to show up after seeing the headline, "She's a mutant," and then the press conference that she's throwing to address that, and then be like, "Wait, what the fuck? She's a mutant?"
I know.
And then start running for your lives.
Allie is mortified by this, but Roman and Beale are thrilled. Any publicity is good publicity. Roman changes his tune when they arrive at a nightclub, though, and Allie has to protect them from a bunch of brick-throwing mutant phobes.
There's like 6 people with 12 bricks. There's a rainstorm of bricks falling down upon them.
As they ride home, she explains that the plane experiment has changed her. She can store power now and has plenty to spare. She's reinvigorated by this and wants to do the movie more than ever, but on her terms. They bone down in the limo.
In the limo?
And Roman's kind of like freaked out because she's taking charge of it.
Yeah, she's riled up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Filming goes extremely sexual.
Filming goes terrifically over the next few weeks, with Dazzler reworking the script and doing all her own stunts. Outside, though, things aren't as pretty. Allie fights with protesters to the media's delight. People are burning her records in the street, and an evening news editorial tries to get people worked up about the Great Replacement.
It's really, there's no difference between what he's saying and what, like, Elon Musk talks about that he picked up on neo-Nazi website. This is the Great Replacement theory, but with mutants.
Yeah. She even has her old apartment broken into and trashed. She's still confident in the film, though, as she tells Roman after they bone down again.
They have so much sex in the back half of this graphic novel. And they talk about it a lot.
Again, if this wasn't Roman, I would be like, fucking great. Fucking great. A woman taking control of her sexuality. But this is fucking Roman who tried to fucking rape you. Jesus Christ.
Right. It's almost like they're trying to say, like, because she just keeps complimenting his lovemaking. It's almost like they're trying to say, see, wasn't it stupid of you to reject his advances that time that he sexually assaulted you?
Who gave you the instruction manual to my body, Roman, is what she
gross.
says.
I don't need to hear any person say that to another person.
Hey, they do say mutant menace in here.
Mutant menace!
Mutant menace! All right. The film is finally finished, and Allison takes Roman to see the final cut at a private screening. It's beautiful, truly the best film he's ever seen.
He's in tears. This is supposed to be a groundbreaking film.
Is very funny for a movie where that has a scene where she is shooting a bunch of lasers at a bunch of boulders that are falling on a car, and she's dressed in like a John Carter of Mars outfit.
This is like, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
This is like
cinema.
This is an epic. This is like Gone with the Wind.
It's also very funny to say this about a movie that actually failed to get produced in the real world.
It turns out not to be such a private screening after all, as protesters break in and try to attack with bats and sticks.
Oh no.
They escape thanks to Dazzler's powers. Everyone stop attacking a superhero. You're not going to win.
They're mobbing her. They're like trying to find her.
Allie sends Roman home and hangs back to yell at the studio manager for sending security home early. But she gets a panicked call. Yeah.
This is another... Sorry to keep interrupting with
please.
This exact same point, but Jim Shooter just completely missing the metaphor here, where Allie hangs back to be like, why the fuck didn't security do its job? And he has the office manager go, oh, well, I sent them home once I was afraid for their safety.
Right.
And that's the end of that conversation. Like, you can plumb into that. You have a classic banality of evil moment here, right? Where the office manager could have just been like, why am I protecting a mutant? Why don't I send all my people home? But instead, he just has a flimsy excuse and she's okay with it.
Well, I think that banality of evil thing is implied here, which I think it's cool that is included. But again, like you're saying, they don't spend any time with it, but they do spend like 19 pages of them fucking.
Yes. Yeah. Her and the office manager.
No, her fucking Roman. We're exaggerating. Like, there's a lot of sex, but it's not that. It's not explicit, but
the talk about it. The chats they have about sex are extremely explicit.
Yes, absolutely. And the way men talk about women's bodies in this is so it's all this is a very explicit comic book.
So strange. We're almost done.
But she gets a panic call from Roman just after he leaves and suddenly dashes to his location, Eric Beale's office.
Oh no.
Roman is no longer there though, and in fact has signed a new contract to save his career in exchange for never seeing or speaking with Allie again.
Yeesh.
Signed it? I know, right? Allie's devastated. After all this, he chose his career over her. As she breaks down, Beale explains the new deal to her. She should never have turned him down because now he will own her. He has right here the only copy of her movie, possibly the best movie ever made. And he will destroy it right now unless she signs this exclusive deal with Beale Productions. Cornered, heartbroken, in tears, Allie walks to the contract, picks up the pen and signs.
Go suck an egg.
She writes, go suck an egg.
Suck an egg.
She punches Beale in the face, and while he's stunned, zaps the only copy of her film into ashes herself.
Whoa.
She calls him pond scum and hums a tune on her way out. Downstairs, Roman is rushing inside to beat up Beale himself and destroy the contract, but Allie tells them that she already took care of it. She's like, I knew you would want me to. They kiss, but then break up for some reason, but they're both very happy with it. We get a girl who's going to be okay panel to close it out at the end. So much of this doesn't make any sense. So Beale explains to Allie, I never wanted you or your movie to begin with. All of this was to force Roman into a place where he owed me and I could get him to sign an exclusive contract with my company. All of this was just a ploy for that. And what? There's so many less complicated, not taking a full year of people's lives ways that you could have done that.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
he takes a moment to say, it's not a sex thing anymore.
And
it was back then, but now it's not.
And even though he says, like, none of this was ever about you, this was all about Roman, then he's like, but while you're here, I could get you to sign an exclusive contract and we'll still release your movie and what, or I could burn it myself. And it's like, well, then wait, doesn't that undermine your entire what are you doing, man? You are the worst businessman anyone's ever heard of.
And if you're a good writer, you write it so that he understands that and she maybe doesn't, right? It's questionable whether or not she understands what her worth is, but he is trying to diminish it so that she...
Right, like his first ploy is a lie.
But again, that's not what Jim Stupid does. This is just him stating two contradictory facts that are true.
Yes. Yeah, that's totally true. If he had been like, I didn't care about you at all, but hey, I could do you a favor and have you sign this contract.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like that would have been all it fucking would have taken is a slight change for this to be a good scene.
A little bit of subtlety.
And in the end, Roman's supposed to be a good guy. What is he supposed to represent? Like, okay, so if the story... Yeah, if the story is about she gets taken in because Hollywood is it'll chew you up and spit you out. It doesn't care. Like, Roman outed her as a mutant, which got him in far too deep to something important. Like, she recognized, okay, this could be important. Maybe he did something good for me. And then he gets so intimidated because he's like, I didn't want to get this deep into the politics and social aspects of this. Like, this sucks. And I'm too shallow and I'm too stupid for all this. So fuck it. I'm gone. Showing, like, even when they stumble into something important, Hollywood is too vapid to really pursue it. And Allison is too deep of a person to fit in here. This isn't where she belongs. But that at the end, they're still in love with each other and Roman is a good guy. It's like, well, then none of this makes sense. Then your whole story is broken.
Lesson.
There's no lesson. There's no moral. This whole story is pointless. She ends up back where she started. She learns nothing. None of the other characters in the story learn anything. Nothing. You can burn this.
Right. She's back at believing in herself, which is where we found her at the very beginning.
Right. The only difference now is that the world knows she's a mutant. She's the only difference. And
she's more famous than she was at the start of the graphic novel, but not in the main comic where the graphic novel is supposed to be picking up.
And within 3 years, they're going to undo that too. So, like, this is all ridiculous.
I will give this a bit of a generous read because I'll say, knowing that this was Jim Stupid written, you go in expecting problematic stuff, right? He doesn't like women. He doesn't like gay people. He doesn't like a host of other things that are going to make
He doesn't understand racism.
But the story itself I think gives us a lot of good examples of the seedy underbelly of becoming famous, of becoming a celebrity. And it is what shakes Allie's confidence. And now she's a flawed hero. That this is like supposed to be a story about somebody getting fully swept up in fame, reaching the peak, but changing who she is as a person to get there.
If that's all it was, it's like a B- version of that story.
Absolutely. But that is the, like, at the end, she's literally, the last panel is her looking into the camera saying, Allison Blair, you're going to be all right. As she walks away, perfectly happy. Like, it's an arc for her where at the end she gets just the sort of personal fulfillment that she's looking for. She realizes her worth again. Just like she did at the beginning. And we're about to get into Beauty and the Beast, which I think is Ann Nocenti's direct answer to this graphic novel.
I
I think
think
it's
that's
her
true.
saying, this should have been written by a woman. Here is an actually compelling story about fame.
I have some problems with the story we're about to read, but I think Ann Nocenti understands Dazzler far better.
I fucking love the story we're about to read. I am so I don't know why, and maybe it's because this is how it was received, but I went into this expecting it to be like infamously bad. I thought it had a reputation of being this like terrible, unreadable comic. I don't know why. I fell in love. This is brilliant and beautiful, and the fourth issue is completely unnecessary. We should remove it, but the rest of this is just we should get into it.
Okay. The last thing that I want to say about Dazzler the movie, the graphic novel, the comic, the movie, is it's a good looking comic book. The artwork is very pretty. The artwork is very like, I think Frank Springer, for all his horniness, he is the best Dazzler artist.
Yeah, he's good at being horny.
Yes, he's the best Dazzler artist by far. He draws pop stuff. He draws sexy stuff. He draws action well. He draws like, there's not a lot of action in the graphic novel, but if we're talking about including his issues of Dazzler, the like 20 issues or so before, he's fucking good at this combination of like crime, superhero, romance, this horniness, and he makes Dazzler look like an appealing character who you want to read more about.
Yeah, it's every panel is very exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Matt, should I tell you about Beauty and the Beast?
Which issue?
Matt, it's a 4-issue miniseries. I'm going to take the whole thing. Why don't you sit back once again and try to recover, try to get your head right.
I think this is something folks, that we're going to do a little more often, especially as we get deeper into the writing to arcs, writing to the trade, that sort of stuff. It's just going to become more and more popular. A good example of this is when we get to the Wolverine solo series. Everything is written in like a 3 to 5 issue arc. I think,
and just for the sake of time,
and for the sake of like, okay, I don't think we don't need to cover every moment. This is going to be a slow change throughout this podcast, where
don't freak out.
In certain instances, we shift from issues to arcs or issue. Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Unless this episode sucks, and then we won't.
Yeah. MutantMenacePod@gmail.com. Does this episode suck? This is Beauty and the Beast. It was 4 issues. All of it was written by Ann Nocenti, penciled by Don Perlin, who I think works some real magic of his own here. I think the art here is crazy. Also worth mentioning, all the covers are done by Bill Sienkiewicz, and they are fucking sick.
They're wild. He draws Beast in a very weird way, but like a creepy, interesting way.
Yeah. I would love to see him like regularly drawing Beast. I think it would be really bizarre. Inks Kim DeMolder, letters Joe Rosen, colors George Roussos and Petra Scotese, editor Michael Higgins, and editor-in-chief Blimp Bloopers.
Blimp Bloopers. Oh, man,
Bloopers.
What about that?
What about a tape of Blimp Bloopers?
Blimp Bloopers. It's just a Hindenburg over and over again.
Here's a Hindenburg that didn't kill as many people.
Here's one that killed
only
more
made the
people.
Local papers. This was released between August 28th, 1984 and February 26th, 1985. The cover dates range from December 1984 to June 1985. At a party in Hollywood, Dazzler, still blacklisted because of being out as a mutant, meets Alexander Flynn, the alleged son of Dr. Doom. Do we know that here already?
Yeah, because there is a scene in the very beginning that is just Dr. Doom, where Number one, he has a Jarvis. It's a Jarvis.
Yeah, he's got his own mostly off-panel butler that gives him updates on the situation.
And number two, he's got an art room that has one rule. The only people who can enter the art room are people who appreciate art, and the only person who appreciates art is Dr. Doom. So the only rule is only I can enter the art room.
Yeah. I love the idea of his servants being like, "Hey, Dr. Doom!"
He's like, don't come in here. You don't appreciate art enough.
Yeah. Oh. I thought this was supposed to be a mystery up until the last issue that Alexander is actually Dr. Doom's son.
Nah, they say it in the very beginning.
Okay. Well, I read it differently. Alexander Flynn tells Dazzler of an underground theater where she can perform and gets her to sign a contract with a man named Hugo Longride.
Hugo Longride.
This sounds like a prank phone call name, but it's not.
It's not.
Then the two go on a whirlwind tour of Hollywood parties, landing in the tabloids for their wild behavior. Also, Dazzler's powers seem to be slightly out of control after Flynn gives her some kind of drink.
Okay.
Huh. Meanwhile, the Beast is in Hollywood on vacation.
Oh, Beast is here. He arrives in Hollywood via the Hollywood sign. So what? He climbed the mountains.
Climbed through the mountains to get here.
He's like, Hollywood, I'm finally here. Like, you're on top of the Hollywood sign.
His outfit for this entire series is just a pair of blue underwear without any other markings on it. And you know when you see somebody in public and they're wearing like pants that are the same color as their skin, and it makes you do a double take.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'm doing that this entire comic. I'm like, oh, he's nude because we have to mention it.
So
but he's not. He's never actually nude in the comic here.
As he gets to LA, he's like, and this is my problem with Ann Nocenti's writing, is she has, in Thought Balloons and dialogue, she just has characters ramble, and it seems to be based on her own stream of consciousness. So characters will completely contradict each other within the same page. So like he gets there and he's like, hey, maybe I should try my chance in Hollywood. And he's like, if every football player or astronaut with a personality can make it, so could I. But I guess people don't really like mutants. I guess after Dazzler's movie, it seems like people don't like mutants, and I'm a mutant. So I guess people wouldn't really like to see me. I guess no one cares about me, and I wouldn't stand a chance here, and there's no reason for me to be in Hollywood. It's like, what the fuck did I just read? What sort of whirlwind did I just experience? Like,
okay, you're right. And she goes pound for pound with Claremont on like overly poetic wordiness.
Sure.
In all her narration. I think what she nails though is going on these rants in those characters' voices. Like,
yes, it's every line sounds like Hank McCoy, but
like Hank McCoy having a stream of consciousness, having Ann Nocenti's stream of consciousness.
But he goes from like, man, I could be the next big Hollywood star to, why does everyone hate me? I hate the world for this. And it's like, what? No one said anything to you. You're constantly just kind of having to like buy the premises of what characters are saying because they react to things that aren't happening in the panels. He'll be like, he'll talk about how everybody is treating him badly because he's a mutant, but we've seen every moment that since he arrived in Hollywood, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, he walks around completely blue,
and pretty much there's one point where people are like, "Oh wow, there's a blue man here," and they even do that kind of like after he's like, I don't know. It's weird.
There's no strong reaction like there was to Dazzler glowing on at LAX. I think that's Ann Nocenti's sort of better understanding of where Claremont's going with things, though, right? Because she's editing him right now. She knows that there is more of a subtle buildup of this anti-mutant sentiment than Jim Stupid, who I think literally does not know the word subtlety. I've never seen him write it in one of his comics.
He's on Hollywood Boulevard and he's looking at the all the feet.
He's just at the Chinese theater. He's just spending all of his time in front of the Chinese theater. But yeah, go on.
He's looking at all the hands and feet footprints, and he's like, half these people aren't even famous anymore. He's looking at Boris Karloff and Shirley Temple, who are still famous in 2026. And so there's a background character who calls another character Bronk. Bronk.
Is that
step on it, Bronk?
Is that supposed to be a celebrity?
I don't know. She says, "Step on it, Bronk."
Bronk.
Now, I did look it up, and there was a TV series starring Carol O'Connor called Bronk, where he was a detective called Alex Bronkov. So maybe she's referencing.
Are you sure you weren't reading the onomatopoeia in the panel? Maybe she's saying "step on it," and then it goes,
and then somebody's honking a horn. Bronk.
Okay, we could do an hour on Beast touring Hollywood. There's so many things here, but he meets up with his good friend Wonder Man, who takes him to a party full of mutants, where he sees a horseman named Rocker talking to Dazzler. I could not get his name. I didn't realize they named him right here.
They name him a couple times. Well, he's got a real name, but his mutant name is Rocker. And this is a crazy panel because he's talking to Wonder Man. Again, this is one of these complete about faces where he's like, man, nobody here seems to be afraid of me. I guess they don't really care that much about people who are mutants. I guess they see their own share of weird freaks here, like that fucking horse guy with his fucking dumb horse face.
Yeah. And keep your hands off her.
And why is he talking to Dazzler? Get your hands off! Keep your damn hands off! And she's just like, he's at a distance from her. They're just talking while she's having a drink. Like nothing. He's not doing anything wrong. And Beast is like, "I'll fucking fight you."
I think you're not wrong. He is a like. Look at this horse freak. I don't like this guy. But I think the implication here is that she keeps saying, or he keeps calling her like sugar and baby. It seems like he's genuinely being helpful, but also knowing. This is why I think, again, this is Nocenti's direct answer to the graphic novel.
Right.
Knowing what she just went through with all these creepy dudes, like, this is her saying, look, someone's being creepy towards her again, and she's learned a thing or two.
I guess, but she is not in any way
I
upset.
read her as a little uncomfortable.
All she's doing is asking him questions. She's like, "Oh, everyone here's a mutant? Wow, what kind of shows do they have here?" And those are the only things she says before Beast grabs him by the fucking collar and is like, "I'll beat your ass." And then like, it's so fucking weird. Again, it's just like she assumes we're reading things that she didn't write. Like she assumes that everybody knows something in her head that she didn't actually put on the page.
I think it's strange for sure.
Which is different than subtext. It's like missing text.
Yeah. Okay. So he tries to start a fight, but Hugo Longride intervenes. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Dazzler tells him off, but Beast is still suspicious of the whole thing. There's a moment where Hugo kind of gathers everyone around, and then the horseman comes up and shakes his hand and clearly passes some cash over.
He's like, "Did you do that thing for me?"
Yeah, did you get that thing done? And the horse guy's like, "Yeah, boss," and hands him a wad of cash. There's an Avenger here.
Two Avengers.
Two Avengers. I don't know what kind of criminal activity you're up to, but give it 5 minutes. As Dazzler walks away with Hugo Longride, she starts glowing out of control and panics. She runs away into the night, eventually passing out on the beach. Some folks find her and take her away to a room at the Heartbreak Hotel.
I wonder if there's some sort of metaphor there.
This is probably much cooler in the mid 80s.
Maybe.
Heartbreak Hotel, that sounds badass. When Beast sees a headline that says Dazzler disappears.
Okay. What? She, late last night, she wandered off. And now it is the next morning. And somebody has somehow gotten it all the way into the newspaper on the headline that Dazzler's disappeared. Number one, who reported on this? How did they get it to publish so quick in the paper so quick? Also, fucking, she was glowing like a neon sign all night. If anybody was looking for her,
that are plaguing her, not just follow her trail of light.
Right. The only way this would end up in the newspaper is if somebody reported her missing to the police, right? And there's a police report out, like, Dazzler, like, keep an eye out for this missing celebrity.
Yeah.
But if anyone was looking for her for any length of time, they would have seen just a glowing woman in the middle of Hollywood.
Well, Beast sees the headline. He goes straight to Rocker,
the horseman.
Yeah. And beats the hell out of him until he calls his boss. Thankfully, Hugo had someone tailing Dazzler.
So it's not Hugo that reported it to the police?
Right. It's
okay, anyway.
And Beast finds out she's at the Heartbreak Hotel.
Okay.
There's a cool... So at the same time, she is trying to figure out what's going wrong with her. And there's sort of like cross-cutting... half page by half page between Beast beating up the horseman and doing it in fucking badass fashion. It's very
chokes him with a phone cord.
And threatens to squeeze it tight enough that it'll pop his fucking head off. And then also at the same time, Dazzler's in the hotel battling herself and like being overwhelmed by her powers. It's just a cool effect. It's a cool way to panel it out.
The horseman also says that his superpower, his mutant power, is he has very strong feet. Your mutant powers, you're a horseman. Just comes along with it. Like
you're kind of horse.
You're kind of a horse.
We should describe this guy, by the way. He is a horseman. He has a horse's mouth, but without like the snout that horses have. Like he has a human head with a horse's mouth on it.
Mohawk.
Got a mohawk, like a mane like mohawk. The rest of him is covered in very short brown fur. And he's got arms with two hands at the end of them, but legs with two hooves at the end of them.
And he's got horseshoes on his, like he must have
horseshoes on the hooves.
He nailed them to his own hooves.
This guy's wild. And then the person that's tracking them, the person that reports back, as far as I can tell, is Abraham Lincoln. Isn't that right? Big stovepipe hat and a chin strap beard, and can't see anything else about him.
Looks like Abe Lincoln. We don't ever meet that character.
When Hank gets to the Heartbreak Hotel, Dazzler's delirious and out of control, but he stays by her side, nursing her back to health. Apparently, Heartbreak Hotel is a haven for misfit mutants in Hollywood, including a boy named Poltergeist, whose latent telekinetic abilities shake stuff around the more emotional he gets. Or he shares an identity with an actual poltergeist.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, am I the poltergeist, or do I? Is there a poltergeist inside me, or? And so I guess you just have telekinesis, man.
I guess he's got an arc in Spider-Woman, but it's such an interesting way. Like even just the way it's presented here, it's such a interesting way to put depth into this character, just to be like, yeah, clearly he's telekinetic and it's out of control, but he looks at it as he thinks it's a ghost. Like,
Yeah.
Poltergeist was also pretty popular at the time, so that's why they had to name a character that. But
I think it's interesting that so Poltergeist was in, I think, 2 Spider-Woman issues, and he was in 1 Avengers issue.
okay.
And then he was in this miniseries, and then he never appears in a Marvel comic again, except for is like in the background of shit. Like when they're putting together the initiative, it's like, well, in California, there's Poltergeist and Link. And on like
the Link.
In like all the images of like what mutants lost their powers on M Day, you get like an image of Poltergeist in the background, and it's like unclear if he lost his powers or not.
That's a shame.
Is this a guy who lost his powers, or is this a guy who they're saying still has power? Like you see little images of him, like references to him here and there, but like you never meet him again.
Yeah. Which is a shame, because I think this Heartbreak
cool.
Hotel lineup is so fucking cool. I want to see what they do. Just this group of like, it's this one older woman who says she's a mutant, but she just doesn't use her powers anymore.
She won't use them anymore.
What her mutant power is.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of kids who like of varying ages who clearly they have lesser powers. There's one whose ability is just to like change the colors of things.
Oh, yeah, it would have been a great miniseries.
Yeah, I would love to see what these guys get up to. It's just like a little mutant club of misfits.
The one that can change colors of things says she flunked out of the academy in Westchester.
Yes. How interesting is that? That adds so much depth to like all we've ever seen is the like the core members. Mm-hmm. There are other people at this academy.
Apparently, according to this, apparently there are some other people who have appeared and like passed through.
Incredible stuff. And Hank McCoy sees. She's complaining about her power. She's like, yeah, it doesn't fucking do anything. What use would I be? And he's like, you're an artist. I wish I could do the things with color that you do, but like, I can barely pick up a paintbrush.
And he's thinking in his head, well, I guess fortune will favor some of us and not others. But he's saying out loud, like, that's so cool.
He's being a very encouraging teacher. Yeah. Like that mentality pops out immediately. Poltergeist and Dazzler relate over having uncontrollable mutant powers. Over the course of a few days, Beast and Dazzler get closer until eventually they kiss and start dating. This is, and you and I think, have different takes on the quality of the series, but I thought this is where being able to write in their voices so effectively really made this work. Like, this is a believable relationship between the two of them. She's keeping their conversations interesting, but still focused around the stuff they care about.
I don't disagree with that. I think it moves a little fast, but they imply that there's a lot of like she's good at implying that stuff happens between the panels, and where it fails is where stuff can't possibly have happened between the panels, like earlier.
Sure.
Where it succeeds is when it's over a series of days, and it's like, okay, clearly they've gotten closer, and they're implying that they spent more time together than this, and it's not perfect, but I like it. I like this romance.
Yeah.
If she wasn't such a pervert freak, he's got blue fur on him. I'm kidding.
I heard that. This whirlwind romance is interrupted when Alexander Flynn and a big dog man show up to remind Dazzler that she's still under contract to perform at Longride's theater. That dog, is he just collecting animen?
And the dog man has his own. This is another thing I guess Ann Nocenti does, is like, okay, even though you're a horseman, you have to have a special power, and it's feet. Even though you're a dog man, you have to have a special power, and it's that you and your two dog friends can howl in a way that drives people insane.
Yeah, he's got 2 dogs that he has to bring around so that they can howl together.
He's like Maggot. Like they walk into the thing and there's 2 dogs following him, but when he leaves, he's carrying the 2 dogs. Like I gotta have these dogs with me all the time or I die.
When she agrees to go to honor her contract, it turns out this theater is actually a gladiatorial combat arena.
What?
Okay, pause. Up to this point, everybody knows that this underground theater has a bad reputation. As far as anybody knew, it was just a reputation for being really weird, experimental underground theater.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's revealed that they're actually like in a fighting pit.
Yeah.
Dazzler doesn't find out until she goes to sing and the crowd starts booing.
What?
And then a big skull unicorn man charges in to attack her. See, I think this is a rhino man.
But he's got a skull face.
He does have a skull face. Imagine if Dazzler figured out, because the boos would provide just as much of a power source to her as the applause would, right?
Applause would, yeah.
Imagine if she realized that here and was like, I'm going to become an edgy comedian.
What?
And that's her career arc.
Why did they do this to her? Why were they like, yeah, go out there and sing. This is a singing arena. Go out there and sing.
Yeah, why'd they trick her into this?
No, why'd they trick her into singing? Like, go out there and sing. Like, it's so
she wouldn't have gone out there if they told her that she had to go out and fight.
And then they just had somebody attack her.
Yeah, so she has to fight. And then she gets drunk off the roar of the crowd. She literally feeds off the audience.
Well, hold on. Because she goes out there, she sings, she runs off stage, and they're like, oh yeah, it's because it's a fight. Again, some more Ann Nocenti just like flipping things in a weird way, like where everything feels unnatural. She goes out there, sings, everyone boos her, she runs off stage. She's like, they hate me. They don't want me to sing. And he's like, yeah, because they want you to fight. Duh. And she's like, what? I don't want to fight. And they're like, why? It's just a theater. There's not a real fight. Go out there and fight. It's normal. It's normal for people to want to see people fight. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll go out and fight. And then they send the Rhino Skull Man after her. Like, why have the first beat if you don't have the... Why have the first beat and the second beat? Like, the second beat makes the first beat.
I don't know. I think it explains, like, these would be her natural reactions. The first thing she would do
I'm not here for fighting. Bye.
Is run off. But then she's intoxicated by the attention of the crowd, which is, I think, the point of this entire series is like she keeps making choices, being tempted by fame after her fall from grace.
Also, Alexander Flynn apparently, when he talks, it convinces people somehow. And we'll learn more about that later, but we keep seeing that.
He's a very persuasive speaker.
Every time somebody
finding out.
Every time he talks to somebody, they agree with what he says. But which means she would have done it anyway. Anyway, also, there's a very funny moment where when she's singing, they're like, shut up! And she's like, I've never been told to shut up before. All right.
I think that's believable as a person on stage. It would be in your life. No, I'm sure she's been told to shut up, but as a performer, that's devastating.
Just a fucking funny line. But I've never been told shut up.
So after all this, the fight turns into a war with all of the performers, and someone dies. The Horn Skullface Man kills somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Dazzler's distraught, but the performers and Flynn all band together to try to convince her that this place isn't as bad as it seems.
Okay, plus he just broke the rules. We all love fighting. It's just the Horn Man broke the rules, and don't worry, we'll punish him. And plus, we all love each other. And it's theater. and everything's fine.
It's very improv community. This is how improv communities turn toxic. Plus, speaking of improv communities turning toxic, Rocker the Horseman drugs her and her powers start going nuts again.
It's okay if he drugged you. He was just trying to get your performance to be better.
Is the drugging outright here, or are we just... Okay.
We watch him dump pills into a shot glass that he's also filling with alcohol.
Okay. So maybe the subtlety that I was reading into it was really me just not picking up some visual clues. Beast shows up to take her out of there. He attended the fight and saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But she chooses to stay and asks him to stay with her. He, of course, doesn't and goes back to the Heartbreak Hotel all alone.
He's crying on the steps of the Heartbreak Hotel.
He is. It's sad. Don't laugh at him.
One thing that's a bit of subtext here that you forgot to include in your recaps.
I'm such a fucking idiot. God damn it.
Is that her like one of the turning points here is she's like, but she's repeating all the stuff that the people told her, but what really changes her mind and she's like, I'm not gonna go with you, is her hand starts glowing against her will because of the drugs.
Yes. Yeah. She doesn't know she's being drugged. She just thinks she's losing control of her powers. She has
the least dangerous power to do this story with.
Just lights. It's just light.
Yeah, she's not gonna hurt anyone.
Give out sunglasses. But it really is like you can see the corruption in her. I again really enjoy this moment where she's like, it's not her turning nasty or mean. It's just her being like, I'm going to stay. This is the best opportunity for me. And even offering for him to join too. It's heartbreaking. The next issue, that was the end of one issue, by the way.
Okay.
The next issue opens with Hank and Allison making out on the beach.
Yeah, it felt important to explain that this is an issue break here because it completely changed it. Like, what? What? That last issue ended with you guys tearfully saying goodbye to each other.
Despite their disagreements, they can't stay away from each other. But as they walk along through the park, people leave their
blanket. They leave their beach blanket. It gets swept away in the fucking litterers. They just leave their beach blanket on the beach and then the tide comes in and sweeps it away.
Come on.
Guys.
That goes into the ocean.
Come on. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
But as they walk along through the park, people are disgusted and call them names and stuff. And Dazzler decides to go back to the theater. Again, Ann Nocenti understanding the underlying metaphor here and having people be like having they're holding hands in public, and that's what's disgusting people. And there's a concerned parent there going like, my child can't see something like this. Like, this is what it was like to be gay in the 80s.
I want to read some of these. These are some good insults. Hey guys, look, it's the Sizzler, and she's taking Rin Tin Tin for a walk.
Oh, geez.
Hey babe, at least put it on a leash. And then he says, why should we worry about these two? One is an overgrown reject from a dog food commercial, and the other's a light bulb. He calls her the Sizzler, then calls her a light bulb.
The Sizzler is pretty good. I feel guilty laughing at this.
Hey, sometimes bad people are funny. Remember when Donald Trump said it that when he was debating Ted Cruz, it looked like he fell in a pool because he was sweating so much. Yeah. Sometimes bad people are funny, and it's unfortunate.
Zingers are not necessarily the mark of a good person. At the theater, they keep trying to convince Allison that the murder at that show was an accident and that it's all just pretend. Dazzler feels accepted there and makes friends with the Horseman and a green lady named Ivich. maybe a lizard lady. I had trouble telling what animal this is supposed to
She
be.
was just a big green lady. Yeah.
We also see that there's a power struggle happening between Alexander Flynn and Hugo Longride. At the Heartbreak Hotel, the gang convince Beast to force Dazzler to leave the arena. He shows up at her dressing room where she's dressed like a Native American stereotype
Oh my God.
and repeating to him all the talking points that the rest of the gladiator people have been telling her. Beast gets angry, not because of the racism, but because of the things she's saying, and draws all over her face with lipstick.
He fucking attacks her with lipstick. He just
He does.
She's like, please stay, and starts kissing him, and he shoves her away, but holds on to like her collar and starts stabbing her face with a thing of lipstick.
He's trying to mock her costume and be like, here, why don't you put on some war paint? But he draws,
you disgust me, he says.
6 long lines across her face. This must have taken a while.
That is cancelable, right? Like that is
Hank, you can't do that, dude.
Disgusting. Yeah, that's awful. Also,
her costume is extremely offensive.
It's very offensive.
It's so bad.
Yeah. She's got a tomahawk on her ankle. Yeah, on her hip.
It's one of those, like, this is the race we're still allowed to make fun of moments.
Yeah, big feather headdress, all of that.
Beast goes sneaking around to find out what they're really up to at this theater, and he finds a chemistry lab, including a beaker labeled Dazzler. After some quick microscopy, he figures out that they've been intentionally making her powers go out of control.
This is just my little
before he gets hit on the head. Just before he gets hit on the head and injected with something himself. The next we see him, Dazzler is dressed up like a princess on a fairy tale set, and Beast is raging out of control. The two fight on stage and almost kill each other until they remember they're in love. Hugo tries to force her to kill him, but she refuses, so all the theater warriors attack her until Flynn shows up and tells them to stop. He then has the theater warriors attack and kill Hugo, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Also, there keep being these cutaways to Dr. Doom, learning what his alleged son Alexander Flynn is up to in Hollywood, and he keeps getting mad about it because he doesn't believe that's really his son. But eventually, the report's cut off, so Doom's like, okay, I've got to go stop him. Turns out, Hugo Longride was a robot the whole time, informing on Flynn for Doom.
What the fuck? So he puts a robot in Alexander Flynn's theater troupe to report to his Jarvis on what Alexander Flynn's up to, and every time his Jarvis comes up to him and is like, "Hey, I got to tell you what your son's doing," he's like, "How dare you talk to me about that man?
I don't want to hear about this shit.
I don't want to hear about him. He's a pretender to the throne," and like hits him and stuff. Like,
again, his servants have to be like, Dr. Doom, I have that report you asked for.
So this is something that like an insane Dr. Doom would do. But again, to me, I think this is Innocenti not really.
There's a bit of you're not saying there's 6 levels of social miscommunication here that's all planned out by Doom. It's actually
Innocenti kind of being bad at this.
Fine. Beast and Dazzler are chained up in the basement of the theater, hanging upside down, but facing each other so they can kiss.
They can kiss. They do kiss.
They can and do kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, Flynn was raising an army here in this theater to claim the Latverian throne from Doom, who refuses to acknowledge his claim to it. He's also a mutant with charisma powers.
He says it's his sly magnetic gypsy blood.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But he is wearing the most ridiculous. He's got a modified Dr. Doom costume on. Imagine Dr. Doom's mask didn't cover like the bottom
The lower
half of his
half.
face, and instead was shaped like Galactus's sort of helmet crown.
It's like a bucket. It's like a Doctor Doom themed bucket that he puts on his head.
On top of his head. Yeah.
And
it looks absurd. You look so bad, dude.
His Doom outfit looks like if Doctor Doom was going to the Renaissance Fair.
Yes. Back at the Heartbreak Hotel, Poltergeist builds up the courage to face his emotions and go save Dazzler. And the resident Theater dell'arte nerd, Link, decides to join him.
Okay, let's talk about Link for a second.
Creep.
He's like a mime clown thing. He's not a mime because he talks, but he's got mime paint on, and he puts like... It's like an artsy clown.
Yes. Yeah, like the stuffy clowns. Not like circus clowns, but like the French art of clowning.
And we don't really know what his power is, but he puts things back to normal when using like what seems like telekinesis when Poltergeist messes them up.
I thought,
but then
so when we when we first meet him, he's just holding up a bunch of masks to do like a little clowning bit to be like, oh, and this makes me sad and this makes me happy. I thought his power was changing those masks. Like he could just sort of reshape the mask that he was holding in front of him.
No, he had a bucket.
Like, okay, this guy's fucking weird and creepy. Sure. And he just walks around. He doesn't. So it turns out he doesn't have clown powers. He just walks around looking like a clown all the time.
Yeah. And when they go on this mission,
telekinetic.
When they go on this mission, he flips his clown makeup. So instead of a white face with black like features, he is jet black with little white makeup.
Should be clear.
Features.
This is not blackface. This is him.
Resembles blackface a little bit, but isn't.
Yes, it is jet black, like pitch black.
And so like he kind of has telekinesis, but later he will only use it. He only uses it to fix poltergeist stuff or to choke people to death. He doesn't use it for anything else.
Yes.
and later he's like, I'll never use my powers again because I keep killing people. And it's like, you could do other shit than choke them.
They break into the complex and they're like immediately confronted by two big bulky mutant guards, and he just crushes their heads. He just uses his telepathy to like put pressure on their skulls until they fall to the ground.
Yeah, this is not what Jean Grey does. There's other things you can do with telekinesis.
Rocker, the horseman, who we're calling Max now.
Oh, he's got a first name now. It's Max.
Max Rocker. He decides to turn on Flynn because Flynn is too Hitlery and tries to get Ivich to join him, but she declines. She likes the Hitleriness.
Yeah, because, I mean, he's literally like, great men. I'm going to be one of the great men like Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler, Doom.
Yeah, he does praise Hitler. Which
and then Max is like, he's being a little too much like Hitler. And Ivich is like, I don't know, man.
Nevertheless, Rocker does free Dazzler and Beast, who find themselves face to face with Flynn and his entire army.
Ooh.
Their fight is eventually joined by Rocker, Link, and Poltergeist, all while Dr. Doom watches from the eaves of the theater. Flynn grabs Poltergeist and puts a gun to his head, but Link uses his powers of telekinetic choking to stop him. But at the last minute, drops Flynn because he doesn't want to kill anyone. He vows never to use his powers again. Yeah. And I guess he never will. We don't see this gang again.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
With Flynn defeated, Dr. Doom reveals himself, taunts Flynn, and then walks off. Free of Flynn's manipulations, the warriors all decide to join Rocker and stop killing each other, and they walk off too.
Okay.
Max Rocker, Horseman. The
Yeah.
new leader of this experimental underground theater troupe.
Do we ever? I got to look this up now. Do we ever see Max Rocker again? Oh,
Is it a spoiler?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought
The look on your face, dude.
I thought there's an interesting thing that's going to happen that I thought was parallel and not a sequel.
Oh. Wow.
And I was going to make fun of the fact that some of these certain characters ended up in the same scenario a second time.
Can't wait. Stay tuned, folks.
Okay.
Also, they just leave Flynn to his own device. They're like, well,
It's
I'm
another
sure
one
you've
of these,
learned
yeah.
your lesson. You're clearly humiliated, so we're just going to leave you here crying, and that'll probably be good enough.
Yeah, just it's completely boring supervillain shit.
Back at the Heartbreak Hotel, Beast and Dazzler chat about the moral of the story. The world may hate mutants now, but one day they'll have to confront the fact that they're not going away and learn to accept them. But in the meantime, there will be violence and oppression. Things will have to get worse before they get better. Beast and Dazzler confront the fact that their romance was just a way of distracting themselves from that truth. No, it wasn't.
I know. And sorry, go ahead.
They decide that to stop running and face the future, they'll both need to do it alone.
Why?
The end.
There's no reason they need to break up here. The end. Okay, good. Yay. There's no reason they need to break up here, first of all. Second of all, Dazzler's mission, like Beast's mission, maybe has something to do with the acceptance of mutants, right? He was an X-Man. He's not really anymore, but he still believes in Xavier's dream. Dazzler just wants to be a singer. Her mission is just to be a singer. So, like, in what way was she...
They don't clash. They're not exclusive to each other.
So I think your ideas, and I want to hear them more in detail, but I think your ideas about what this says about Dazzler and what the story is about regarding Dazzler and her personality and the journey that she's on personally, I think those are interesting and salient. But I'm not entirely sure that I think Ann Nocenti maybe thought she was making some bigger points that don't really resonate here. And
so,
okay,
it feels to me like the rules here were, number one, you got to include a supervillain. You can't just have like a dramatic story. There's got to be a recognizable supervillain. So they put in Dr. Doom and his son.
Alexander Flynn, I'm sure he appeared before this, right?
I have no idea. But it's not necessary. Like, this is a story about Dazzler finding herself. This is a coming of age story. You don't need Dr. Doom to be involved with that.
No.
But I understand.
This is Alexander Flynn's first appearance.
Whoa. Does he come back?
Yeah, in the
X-Men?
In one other story that we're going to read really soon.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Good. I'm so glad when there's consequences to them just leaving somebody on the ground crying to learn their own lesson.
I don't know that man, all right, Jesus Christ, I can't wait till...
Yeah, it turns out this has a lot of consequences, huh?
Now I suddenly can't wait until we get to a story that I was really not looking forward to.
So I do want to dig a little. We keep distracting ourselves. I do want to dig a little more into what this story is about, but I got to point out a couple of things. Number one, do we ever find out who this Abe Lincoln character is?
No, of course not.
Okay, just so it is Abe Lincoln.
It's Abe Lincoln, I think.
No other distinguishing qualities.
Pat, we are going to get a follow-up to this next episode.
Okay.
I can't believe it. I can't believe I never made this connection. I'm losing my mind here, dude.
Stay tuned, folks. Hank wears a suit to the gladiator fight because he doesn't know that it's a gladiator fight, but it's sharp. As we know, he's a sharp dresser.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's got the same rule for his pants as he does for his superhero undies, which is they should match the color of the fur. So it looks like he's wearing the top of a suit and no pants.
No pants.
And then finally, have to comment on this. Doom calls his son the son of a sniveling cur. What does that say about him?
Yeah.
Matt, I have to say I thought this ruled. I thought this was a great representation of falling from grace as a celebrity, right? You kind of, between both stories, you kind of have to take the mutant metaphor out of it, except for the few times that it becomes pertinent to the plot.
Okay.
First story, or the graphic novel ends with her being back at square one. And I think Ann Nocenti said, no, she's not starting back over. Like, there have to be consequences to her making all these terrible decisions in the graphic novel where she just, she gets swept up by the fame. She falls in with the wrong people. She gets exploited for it and has to find herself. So we even get like a speed run of the graphic novel in the first issue here, where she's in another whirlwind romance. She's famous again. And then she starts to lose control, and like it mirrors celebrities that get overwhelmed by their fame. They fall into ego and substances and just start to lose control of themselves. And she has those moments here. Instead of her like looking in the mirror and being like, I'm fat, she's instead completely losing her self. She doesn't understand her identity. She can't control her powers. She doesn't know where she belongs. And as a result, she continues to make these terrible decisions. She's like, yeah, this theater troupe is pretty toxic, but this is my key to getting back on top, to getting that high that I had in the middle of the graphic novel. And so she doesn't come to any sort of realization around that until she hits rock bottom, still returns to the situation that's bringing her to rock bottom, and then has her sort of what do they call it, moment of clarity when she finally sees what a fucked up operation this is. Like, I think it's a really good representation for someone shooting to the top too fast and losing it all, and like how they have to dig their way out of that.
Okay. I can see all of that, and I can see how this makes a lot of sense, as this is a person who really understands Dazzler, right? And I can see how this is a person who really had problems with the Dazzler graphic novel, but there's just so much besides the Nocenti spirals, the Nocenti dialogue spirals, and the Nocenti conceptual gaps, right? Like, these are the things that really bug me about all Ann Nocenti books that I've ever read. These gaps and these spirals. Besides those, so if we're just saying like, oh, that's just a quirk you have to deal with Ann Nocenti, let's look at it. Let's look at it deeper, and let's try to just like, maybe she's not the best dialogue writer or the best. Maybe she's not the best moment to moment writer, but she's good at following themes and crafting a story. There's things that are missing here, like. This makes a lot of sense for Beast, right? Beast's walking away from the Defenders and the Avengers, and like he's in a weird place right now. He hasn't been with the X-Men for a while, so he's kind of been ignoring his responsibilities to mutant kind. And so for Beast, and Beast hates himself because he looks like a beast. So for Beast, I think the story makes a lot of sense. This is how he finds appreciation of himself again. This is how he finds this is how he gets over his weird obsession with Dazzler, and he's
saving someone to save himself,
right? And this is how he finds his, and finds his way back to Xavier's dream. But he doesn't join the X-Men again for another, 10 years?
Yeah.
I guess X Factor's coming up, so he will get back to that.
He'll be back in the X-verse.
So maybe Innocenti knew that was going to happen as the X editor.
Zeditor.
The Zeditor. So works for Beast. For Dazzler, she doesn't want to be a superhero. She's not a superhero. She doesn't want to fight for mutant kind. She's turned that down several times. So what this is missing then is anything about music whatsoever.
Yes. So she was it seems like she has pivoted to acting through this this, but
and
only acting where she also gets the opportunity to sing.
But so I think even then, if you're like, okay, so it's just, this isn't about her singing. Singing's not her passion anymore. Just performing is her passion. There's nothing towards the end of this that in any way suggests that there is a redeeming quality to performing for her, right? There's nothing towards the end here. There's no part of this resolution that in any way legitimizes her desire for acting. She has the same ending as Beast, which is, we both have to go forward and champion the rights of mutant kind. That's not what she's gonna do. She's just gonna go back to singing.
Honestly, I wish more canceled celebrities took that path. Like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna sit back for a little bit and maybe do some good in the world in general.
I wish she did. I wish that's what would happen to Dazzler, but she doesn't. She just goes back to singing. So like, I think it could have either used, this is the turn where Dazzler becomes a superhero, which maybe Innocenti, maybe to give the most generous read possible. She knew that Dazzler was going to join the X-Men in a couple years. And this just came out a little too soon. Right. And just like she knew Beast was going to join X Factor, and this came out a little too soon. Right. Like
sure.
If we just say, maybe that was what was going on here. She was trying to set them both up for those things. Then cool. But I don't think that's a very generous read, because I think this is a little too soon for her to have known those things.
Well, so what I think is that, yes, Innocenti knows that at some point this has to be a hero. And the choices that she makes in the graphic novel are not the choices a hero would make. All the way up to the end when she's happy and supposedly back to square one. She was just purely obsessed with fame. She didn't learn any lesson about that, because the problem there was anti-mutant sentiment. I think Innocenti said, like, hey, how do we tell the same story but make it so that it's actually a redemption arc instead of just going back to normal? And that's where all that like addiction to performance and willingness to keep returning to a toxic situation comes from. And I guess she figures out that she doesn't, and then she's ready to be a hero.
And I guess what I'm saying is that would work for me if this was the moment that Dazzler pivoted to being a hero, or if there was anything in this story that showed the redemptive power of performance.
Okay. Yeah. I can give you, I think she leaves Dazzler in a good place to continue on from there. And so, yeah, I do see what you're saying. I don't think it's Innocenti's fault, but it would have made sense for her next step in comics to be her dealing with the fallout from all this.
Well, thankfully, when Dazzler goes back to her own series, she's being written by one James Shooter.
Oh my God. Right.
So I'm sure he follows up on this.
Take over titles at this point.
Let me see. I'm going to flip through. I'm not going to talk about what happens to her after this, because it gets a little weird. So yeah, after and I had trouble following kind of like the end of Dazzler's series. I think she goes for another 9 or 10 issues, but it goes Jim Shooter writes an issue, Linda Grant writes an issue, Bob Dana Talley writes an issue, who I don't even know who that is.
Nope.
Archie Goodwin. Oh, earlier I said Peter David. It's Archie Goodwin who writes her final arc.
Oh,
and her
okay.
final arc is who at this time, early Peter David and this era of Archie Goodwin, not all that different. We'll see that when we read Wolverine. But yeah, it's largely about her teaming up with a bounty hunter and a wolf who eats cigars.
Eats cigars?
Yeah.
I'll bet that causes some problems.
And then gets interrupted by Secret Wars 2. So it very inauspicious end to the Dazzler series. Thankfully, where she lands is X-Men with Chris Claremont, so we'll get some cool Dazzler again.
We'll get some good stuff out of her.
Yeah. She doesn't have the strongest arc when she's in the X-Men, but at least she's being taken care of. So that's Dazzler.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's Pat Steele's and Steele.
Ooh, folks, Pat Steele's and Deals. There was exactly one advertisement in Dazzler #1 that I was able to pull for our episode today. So what we're going to do is check back in. It's been a little while on the Hostess Fruit Pie comics.
It's been a while.
Quick one-page comics plugged into Marvel, and I think they did them with DC as well, but between, what was it, like 1975 and 80 something?
I have no idea. Yeah.
This one, Matt, stars Daredevil. It's Daredevil versus Johnny Punk.
Okay.
Johnny Punk is a green mohawked man who is planning to raise the decibel. He's backstage at a punk rock show, or maybe glam rock show based on their outfits, but he plans to raise the decibels to mega pitch. The high frequency sound waves will lock the crowd's brains and they'll do whatever he commands. But Daredevil's super sensitive hearing picked that up from outside the building. He swoops in, he gives them fruit pies, which distracts them from turning up the volume, and then he wraps them all up.
He leaves them there.
He leaves them
at the venue just tied up,
and he says, "Thanks to Hostess, I don't have to listen to this music anymore."
And he seems to fly away.
He's swinging, but horizontally.
So what year was this? Oh, this was the 80s. Okay.
This would have been 1980.
Okay. Well, I guess Daredevil doesn't have very good taste in music.
Interesting thing I learned. Well, it's not Johnny Punk's music that he's objecting to. It's the band that's on stage, which again I think is like a glam rock band.
Oh yeah, because there's a guy playing a horn and there's a guy playing an acoustic guitar. I can't tell, but they're wearing shitty outfits.
And Johnny Punk hates these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting fact: these Hostess fruit pie ads take place in Earth 51914. That's the universe designation.
So apparently, this was set in Spider-Verse comics. That was the number, because the Spider-Verse pulls in every Spider-Man form, including the Hostess fruit pie ads. Right. So it was like there's a very specific universe where the Hostess fruit pie stuff happens. And
I want to dive into that universe. I want to live in the Hostess fruit pie universe.
And it's got its own series of villains. Like
sure,
Photo
Punk,
Man,
I'm pretty sure is an original.
Junjitsu, Simon the Evil Swami, Legal Eagle,
Legal Eagle,
Larcenous Lil, and in this universe, Morlun, the villain Morlun, kills Spider-Man when he's on a date with Mary Jane.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. I looked up Johnny Punk just to see if this was someone that existed anywhere else. He is a Spirit Halloween costume. Or prop. I'm sorry, a Spirit Halloween prop you can buy.
And he looks like that? It looks like that?
No. It's a little clown man on a swing.
Oh, okay.
They just call him Johnny Punk.
Yeah, Johnny Punk had one appearance in Marvel, and it was in this Hostess ad. Marvel Hostess Ads Volume 1, number 54.
Give me that graphic novel.
I know. The Hostess Ads graphic. Oh my God. Why wouldn't they? Why
aren't we writing that?
Oh my God. So the Marvel Wiki has just every ad.
Yes, they do.
My God.
You can look them all up if you
want.
And
it really is just a superhero, supervillain. They give him a hostess treat.
And then arrest them.
When was the last time you had a hostess anything?
Not that long ago. There's some shops by me that sell like Hostess mini donuts and stuff. I prefer Tasty Cake.
Well, Tasty Cake's gotten worse over time.
That's
but
true.
I
and
still
it's also it's still better than Hostess, but it's only local.
Yeah, and I haven't had a Hostess fruit pie since I was like a little kid. Though recently I did have a regular ass fruit pie from a place out near Gettysburg. Like one of these little like a Hostess fruit pie, but made by a
so
real
it's just
person.
Not that it's the brand.
No, yeah,
it's off-brand, an off-brand Hostess fruit pie.
Yeah, and because of that, I don't want to buy this Deal and Steal.
Damn it!
Got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Steal.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Mutant Menace. Pat, how do you feel about Dazzler?
I feel good. I feel great about Dazzler. I really enjoyed this.
You excited about Dazzler eventually coming and joining our X-Men crew?
Yeah, I think that could be really promising. And honestly, I wasn't before I read through this. Before this, I was like, oh, it's just like a marketing gimmick. But I'm bought in now.
I really wanted to save these until right before she joined, but then there's stuff that ties in, right? For example,
apparently
our very next episode, and everyone keeps referencing the Dazzler movie in all of the other books we're reading. So
it's
anyway,
important.
I would like to direct everyone to our Patreon. If you like this podcast, we do some other silly little we do a little podcast called Puffy Faffin, which every couple weeks or so we release a silly little comedy or just chat podcast. It's usually like between 30 seconds and half an hour.
Somewhere in that range, between 30 seconds and 30 minutes.
Yes. You can join it for any dollar amount. There's no, you could join.
And look, if we could make it 1 cent, we would. The minimum on Patreon is $1 per month.
But we also really appreciate the support. This does cost time and money to make, and your support really helps a whole fucking lot. So thank you so much. The other way that you can support us, perhaps an arguably bigger way to support us, is just by telling people about the show. So, we are Mutant Menace Pod on Instagram, Mutant Menace on YouTube. Just share those, like them.
Yeah, we put out little video clips. We do fun things that people can engage with.
If you want to be on Pat's email corner, you can email us mutantmenacepod@gmail.com.
It's actually just to be clear, Mutant Menace Podcast on YouTube.
My bad.
No. I had to look it up. Huge Thanks, as always, to Julia Selly for providing the voice of Trish Tilby and to Krills Wilson for the music.
And that leaves us with only one thing left to do, which is to say the catchphrase that we say at the end of every single episode.
That's right, Matt. As always, though a gaily garnished gymnasium may lack the seasoned ambience of a Copacabana, it was a wonderland of blossoming dreams and desires to a young heart.
And of course, I'm no witch turkey.